Ausgezeichnet. On last session with Into Space, the fire team, Ural's fire team, called For Burning Sensations.
The Burning Sensations.
No, it's For Burning Sensations. Gets a new mission. Lieutenant Calabash, Sarah Calabash, tells their leader, or tells, sorry, I did it in the third person, tells Ural's leader, Lieutenant Dolby, that it's going to be a doozy, this mission, and it will require a cryo sleep. She informs Dolby that you'll also have a ride-along, one Private Alice Brick, one of the dissidents you just took care of on Lunia. In last session, I said it was 3 or 4 days, and then I said it was a few weeks. We're going to say it was a couple weeks. A couple weeks back. For Burning Sensations. Dolby, is it F-O-R or F-O-U-R?
Oh, I think 4.
That doesn't answer the question.
A 4 like F-O-U-R.
They're humming.
I mean, I think it should be. It's a funny play.
It's fine. For Burning Sensations. Head off to Apollonia Station for a brief respite. Dolby makes moves on Calabash, but is summarily denied. Brick attempts to make up with the recalcitrant Burgess, who has no fucking clue who she is. They shove off to Jupiter Station and then Neptune Station, a major military staging point for heading off for the proximal colonies. Now you notice I haven't told you yet what the mission is, because I think it took like the last 10 minutes for you guys to find out, because Dolby would not read the briefing. All right. On Neptune Station, the group finds their gunboat. It's a small, essentially the size of a small freighter. So sorry. Oh, I'm back. No, I'm not. Anyway, there I am. Small freighter. Dolby meets the engineer, Private Dole. It looks better than it sounds. When I put it that way, that's confusing. Huh.
Maybe he could be DB and I could be DDP.
Hold on. He has a first name. Let me see what his fucking name is.
Is it Oscar? Can I spend a pip to make it?
Is it Bob?
Nah, you suck. Are we going Oscar? No, he can't be Bob kidding. Dole. He could be Dole Bob. You want Dole Bob? His name written is Dole Injiran.
I feel like we should go with what you said.
All right, Dole.
Is he the engineer? For the pilot?
Yes, he is the engineer. Okay. And weird, I have him as corporal there, but on here I have him as a private. He's a corporal. Oops. Anyway, he's a corporal. And second lieutenant, Joshua. It's Joshua Deargan is his name, the pilot. So, Corporal Injiran and Lieutenant Deargan. Again, they look better than they sound. What can I say? You meet the engineer and the pilot. Dolby and Private Skip discuss the mission at hand, finally, while Alfred, their gunboat's robotic intelligence, RI, fails at making jokes. His name is Alfred, by the way. The mission is to Novus Terra, a second-generation proximal colony off the beaten path. Seems that a coup d'etat occurred some 8 to 10 years ago. A man named Confucius and his renegades have been running things ever since. The group's ordered to either make a deal with the leadership or take them out. Before they can go, a commercial ship known as the inevitable. MacGuffin. Ship bound for Prime explodes nearby. Sabotage! Question mark. Skip suspects foul play and has Corporal Dole. Corporal Dole, Injurin, investigate the ship. Sure enough, Injurin discovers their Ural's cryo beds have been tampered with. Reviewing the gunboat's onboard security cameras reveals a clandestine-looking woman did the deed. She's got that Sec 4 clearance to boot. That was funny. Dolby has lost the group. That, sir, is a Freudian slip. That is a Freudian slip. Dolby has lost. It's all over. We're done.
The end.
And that's the fiend. Dolby has the group scramble to find the saboteur. Not long after, the station's magistrate broadcasts a station-wide PSA about the explosion of the inevitable. Upon seeing her face, she looks like the same person who sabotaged the cryobeds. And you know the name of the magistrate? Her name is Ava or Eva Cyrus. I should note, she resembles the person on the camera. The camera was grainy, and the angle did not have a clear shot of her face, but it does look like her.
Before we start, I was going back over the notes, and I think there is one thing that you did miss.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You missed this week's sponsor.
I haven't missed the sponsor yet. I haven't. Okay. I was gonna do it. Hey Holker, who's our sponsor for tonight?
Our sponsor for tonight is extreme, uncontrollable work from home flatulence. The kind of flatulence that does not generate a complaint to human resources.
What's the remedy for this flatulence?
Remedy? They are sponsoring our show tonight, and you want a remedy for them? How insulting. No remedy. They're working from home. They let it go. It's there. They don't worry about the person in the cubicle next to them. They don't think about, well, maybe this person is not gonna like it. No, they never crosses their mind, right? Because they're working from home.
Do you come up with this before? Is this something that you've written out?
5 minutes ago.
Wait, the flatulence lasts for 5 minutes?
No, he was asking me if I had notes.
It lingers.
Man, those are the worst.
Yeah.
Excuse me while I mukbang.
I thought it was mukbang. I think you're mukbang.
I don't know.
I think.
We're at 84 followers, and we need to be at 100.
Followers on the Twitch?
The Twitch.
Are we in an ad break right now?
No.
Is that this is?
I'm just eating chips into the microphone.
Yeah. Okay.
We're in the fiction right now, so this has to happen.
So I guess Dolby
I should probably set the scene, shouldn't I?
Communicate from whatever his name, Skip Trace, that Burgess has lost his mind, and so
indeed, the last you heard, the last you saw of Burgess, Private Burgess, and Corporal Burgess, my ass. Bump down a private motherfucker. Second private, United First Class. Okay. Of Private Burgess and Skip Trace. They went the other direction on the space station. Now, the space station looks like a donut. The one that I sent you, Ken, is a much larger space station. The ring itself is what Neptune Station looks like. So it looks like a big donut. That's what this looks like, okay? It's got spin gravity, and there's these little pinwheels that extend towards the center. The center is actually, well, like a donut. It's hollow. A ship can actually go in between it and make port, and then ships can go on the sides or on the outer rim as well. This all said, they went one direction, you guys went the other direction. On those pinwheels, there are modules, so you can go to them and there's other rooms and such. And there are actually floating bits that are technically tethered to the station, but they're not fastened to it. Anyway, it's in inertia, so it works kind of in science fiction. Yeah, that's the last thing you heard. And these two MPs had stopped, or detained, I should say, Burgess for randomly throwing boxes at people. Skip Trace was able to calm Burgess down. He's on the phone with you. He's on the short range with you, Dolby, right now. You hear yelling in the background, and Burgess, put that box down.
Why?
Just put that box down.
Why would I do that?
Just don't throw any boxes. As he gets
Then I
back
still gotta look behind them.
They're not in the boxes, Burgess. Lieutenant, everything's in order.
I'll be there in a minute. Come on, Brick. But so I think Dolby and Brick will head down towards. When Dolby hears everything's fine, he knows it's not fine. I feel like that's
Code word.
And I'm sure, yeah, that's the code word. Like, the yelling in the background. That's, he's only he was half cocked about wanting to murder the leader of the station, and maybe had a second guess on maybe he should, slow his roll just a hair. Because I think
as an arbiter, I'm always surprised by you all.
Because she looked exactly like the person that sabotaged our ship, and so it's like he's got some beef.
That was the trap.
Her.
So,
And...
so you guys turn, and you and Alice Brick. Do you remember what she looks like?
Yeah, we've been looking at her on the Twitch. She's she's black, and she's I think that's it, and she has a sniper rifle.
She's black with a sniper rifle.
And it's normal because it's the future and it's space, and everybody in this scenario carries a weapon. So
yeah, it's completely normal. Well, because you guys are all military.
We are military.
Normal. It's completely normal. You guys are in armor and heavily armed, from what I remember.
I've probably seen all of these people naked many times.
Yeah,
and I don't
Starship Troopers style, like, absolutely. There's that sexualization is a totally different animal. Right, so you turn, you start going back on this large essentially TV. Everything is thinner. Think the Expanse. It's paper thin, this almost foil, and it's got a concave shape to it, and you see on it the magistrate giving this PSA. She's talking very calmly. There's not a smile on her face, but there's something pleasant about her. She clearly can talk to people. She's um, very adept at it. You immediately know. Um, the programming or the reprogramming in your head immediately says, "Oh, she's an official. She's using the official words and the buzzwords and stuff." Um, so whether you do or do not trust her, there's that moment of, right, well, they're on the news kind of thing. And she's talking about this uh, commercial ship. It was not a capital ship, but it was the same scale, um, meaning the same like size and complement. A capital ship is a military vessel. This was a commercial vessel that exploded. It was a pretty big deal. No pun intended. As you turn and start going away, she's saying something about the debris field will likely cause communications problems towards Prime and the inner system. And certain routes will have to be rerouted. Space is 4D, so it's not hard to reroute, but orbital mechanics and all that crap, like you need to take your time with that kind of thing because it's a lot more complicated. Anyway, that's happening. You guys are walking. Alice will turn up to you. What do you what do you think? What do you think, Lieutenant? Do you believe it?
I believe that we need to go help our buddy Burgess. I think he skipped out. I had some thoughts a few seconds ago, but you know what? I think it might be just above my pay grade to think about that. I got a soldier that's acting out of line, and you better expect that I come down pretty hard when I get a soldier that's acting out of line.
She
What's
just kind of looks at you and doesn't say anything, but you can see with her eyes she's understanding maybe where you're coming from. Aye, aye. Right, sir. As she, gets her, maybe inadvertently fixes like her lapel and like a couple buttons, and she's very shipshape looking. Um, we are technically in the montage. So remember the story's just kind of moving along. If you want to take control of it, you would bid. Um, that said, we're gonna go forward. As you guys are moving, you hear above the din of what's going on. Voices all over the place, people going to and fro. There's no real unrest, and this is for both of you. There's no unrest, but there is a little bit higher tension. These are all military people. They almost all of them have seen battle of some sort. You can see the signs of cryosleep, people having just woken up, people who have lost people that have been in cryosleep too many times, too many jumps. Um, you know, a good tenth of the Marines around you and Navy people are probably sociopaths by this point.
It's
So
like they're sleep shocked.
yeah, it's like severe sleep shock. And Burgess, you note as Skip is he's got you kind of away from everyone. You're in a side hallway, side corridor. It's very easy to breathe over here. There's a bathroom and like um, a water tank and such. And there's a big bay window. You can see Neptune in all of its glory. And he's in front of you. He's got his hand up. You might notice he actually does have his hand on his rifle, but that's probably just, to keep it safe. And he's speaking in very low tones. As people are looking at you, kind of like maybe you have had too much cryosleep. We need a good word for that, but I don't have one.
Cryo crazy.
Cryofucked.
What?
Cryo crazy.
Interesting. What'd you say, Ken?
Cryofucked. I said
Cryofucked.
cryofucked.
I think we're using both of those. I like both of those. Cryofucked is just the more marine way of saying it, and cryo crazy is what generally people say. I feel like Marines have just incredibly thick skin. Right. So, the action is on you, Burgess, as Skip is in front of you doing what I said.
Sir, I was just trying to find
Sir. I can't get his voice. Sir. Don't call me sir. I'm not your commanding officer.
Oh. I was trying to find those people that we gotta find the saboteurs. They're probably hiding, and if I was a saboteur, I'd hide under those boxes somewhere.
I know you would probably do that, but you're not a saboteur.
No.
So they're not going to be under the boxes, would they? Because they're not you.
Yeah, but if they were me, they'd be under there.
Right, but they're not you. Are you a saboteur?
No.
So they wouldn't be under the boxes then.
But they could be under those other boxes that I haven't got to yet.
So you can make a reaction roll. This will be your wits or your mind. It'll be a threshold of 2, and here are the stakes before you roll it. And in fact, I'm going to give you a chaos die too. So you do your action. Don't roll it yet. Your action, either your wits or mind. Which one are you going to roll?
Wits.
Okay, so that means it's a perception idea, and you also have a d6, which is a chaos die. If you roll a 1 on that, you automatically mishap. The stakes are this: if you fail this threshold, then what Skip is saying completely makes sense to you. Now, that doesn't mean you have to do something, but it means it actually does make sense. And the conversation is, okay, well, there's no point of arguing it because turns out there is a God, okay? If you don't fail, then it's pretty much whatever you want. You can believe what you want. Since you're doing wits, clean success, you will perceive that at least in the areas you have seen, there's no not suggestion, evidence of people under the boxes.
Here goes. Two successes.
All right, so it's limbo. Great. All nice and fuzzy. What'd you get on the d6?
3.
So limbo is a yes but situation. This means perception-wise, you look around, you realize the boxes are not big enough for people to hide under or in. That said, maybe there are bigger boxes elsewhere.
Yeah.
And in fact, boxes probably, it's not good enough. You probably want crates. Maybe ships. All right, action's still on you. What do you do? As he explains this, it does make sense.
Say, okay, I'll stop throwing those boxes around.
Thank you. It's about that time that Dolby and Alice round the corner. Dolby, we'll say, just because it's montage, you don't see them. You're walking past the corridor as Alice, who is a sniper, says, "Lieutenant," and then points as she has spotted them.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Stay here for a second.
All right, sir. And she
keep an eye out. If you see anybody that looks like that person, let me know. But otherwise, just stay here.
She nods. You see that she has her sniper rifle folded up and magnetically attached on her back harness, and then on the front she has a hollow rifle. It's not engaged, so it's just essentially the parts you would hold, and then when you engage it, hard light appears and it shoots, energy blast basically.
All right, excellent. Did we get back our traits from last?
I don't
Is this a
know
new
if I
scene or
call...
is this?
Yeah, I don't know if I called it a new scene, but it will be a new scene.
Okay. All right. I am going to go to the MP standing over Burgess.
They are not. They're in the corridor. You see that they've given Burgess and Skip quite a bit of berth, but they're eyeing him every so often, but they've kind of gone back to what they normally do.
Oh, so they're no longer in the situation.
Correct. Yeah,
Right.
Now they're in this corridor, and you see Skip is in front of Dolby. Is in front of Burgess, talking him down.
All right, I'm gonna go to the two standing there.
Yep.
Skip?
Okay.
Skip.
Sir.
I need you to go back to the ship and just make sure nobody enters it. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna do next, but just keep to your comms and be ready.
Very good.
Wait further information. Take Brick with you, and Burgess and I'll. We're gonna work this out.
You see, he's got the mustache, of course. He turns and looks at Burgess for a second, gives you a nod, maybe a pat on the shoulder. It'll be okay. Turns, sir, and he walks over where Alice is and gives her the nod. She turns. You see she catches your eye first, Dolby, as if to say, with him? As you give her the nod, and she goes with him.
Absolutely. So, you feeling okay, Burgess?
Yes, feeling great.
Okay. Do you feel like we've cleared all the boxes at this point, or is there any need to throw any more boxes?
I don't think the boxes have been sabotaged. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh, that's good. Good to know. I think that we should explore the rest of the ship and maybe do a little bit more reconnaissance. And,
yes, sir.
Maybe go over some procedures of how to engage the enemy. And I'm sure there are a lot of enemies, but we got to be smart about this. We can't just, stab at enemies that. If that was a bomb and you threw it, it would blow half of this spaceship. So we do have experts that'll defuse bombs and stuff like that. Maybe just think of each box as a bomb, potentially, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I just
think of
that
each box as a bomb into space, now streaming.
That being said, we've all been under a lot of pressure, and I know that last mission really messed you up because we didn't see it coming, and we're gonna do our best to see it coming next time. So, is there anything you want to tell me, soldier?
Yes. The ship's computer is it's not that funny.
That's true. That is.
You tried to tell me a joke,
correct.
and I did not laugh at it.
It was not funny at all.
Suddenly, you hear a tink.
Was it a bad tink or was it a?
It's just a loud metallic tink from behind you.
All right, I'm gonna bid career to.
So you're gonna go into the dread?
Yeah.
right. It's your big career. You're in this corridor, 10 paces or so away from the main corridor. The main, we'll call it the hub. Hub? No, you're on the ring. What would you call the interior of a ring? Like, think of a tire, like just the rubber of a tire, and then you're on the inside of that. What that would be called? How would you refer to it?
The central corridor?
The missing cream filling.
I'm gonna slap you with my mind. Yeah, so it'll be the central corridor. Cent core. Anyway, you're about 10 paces from it. There's that large window of Neptune, or showing Neptune in the orbit. So if you guys are orbiting around Neptune, as you are, you're facing planet toward the planet right now. Dolby, as you bid career, your eyes immediately go to the outer wall, which it's the space station is reinforced, and that glass is several inches thick. There's a vacuum barrier, or I'm sorry, an air barrier, and then another set of glass. And it's shaped just so that you can actually look through it and it doesn't distort and that kind of thing. It's very tough. That said, you look and you see something, through the brilliance of Neptune, it's catching some of the sun's light right now, a reflection. Almost like a mosquito, like your eyes focus on this hair-like structure. Think of like a feather in the wind, stuck in the glass.
Ooh.
On the outside.
That's bad.
It looks like a hairline fracture.
Clunk!
I think we should move away
As
from
you see, at this
here.
point, you see a piece of metal just whack, hit it, and scuff the outside. It's a completely cosmetic thing. But at that moment, far away, when I say far, this is relative in space, it's still between you and the planet. Almost like rain, you see this beautiful shower, like metallic rain, falling towards the planet. And then, and it is obvious to you that debris from the inevitable is falling past the space station and hitting it.
Is it obvious to me that I would think that this is dangerous to be in this area? I feel like we should get to the ship. Let's go to the ship, Burgess. Double time.
Moments later, the orange lights turn on, and then as you guys are jogging, running, walking, what? Double time?
We're running.
running down.
I take
running
that
down
as
towards your ship. You hear the bugle horn of the and then PSAs. People look up as you're running past, having reacted a good 10-15 seconds early, as you push past them and they're still trying to figure out what's going on. And before you get to where your ship is, you see people start getting into action. What's going on? What's going on?
I'm gonna
That's
bid
when you hear
authoritarian.
Go on.
I'm gonna bid authoritarian presence, and as we're running by, it's an ability. I'm gonna be like, get to your ships. We got incoming debris. Just yell it.
Yeah.
Like at the top of my lungs.
As you shout it, and you wearing the first lieutenant insignia and such, a load of people turn immediately to you and say, "You heard the man! You heard the man!" They start just fucking going, like they're painted lines on the ground. people start going exactly where they should be. There's a few maybe stragglers, maybe greenhorns and stuff, but they're quickly being grabbed and pushed. You guys up, you see up ahead, as the curve of the space station goes, you're with a run 10 seconds away from your airlock, or your connection point, as you hear the hiss, the devastating sound everyone in space is terrified to hear, of decompression. It is behind you, far away, but it is unmistakable. This and then screams. And then, if you were inside of a tin can when it was crushed, that sound slowly emanating this horrible bending sound and breaking of metal and a crash. What are you all doing?
I think we're going to be diving into our ship. If I can radio ahead to who's my pilot again? I got Dole and I got the other guy. That's the other guy. Endurin. So it's Dole Endurin is the engineer, right?
Yep.
And what's the other guy's name? Engineering. That's funny. Been doing too many things. Like, I know the rebel's name of the dude. Oh, Josh.
Yeah.
Josh. I'm gonna mention Josh with the C. I'm gonna message him to get the ship ready to.
Do you say it just like that?
Out.
Oh, hey man, you should probably get. The
I'm gonna be like, Josh, we got a situation.
Yeah.
You copy?
Yes, sir. What's going on? Skip just got here.
We have a super snafu. We need to be wheels up in 1 second. As soon as we're on board, we're gonna slam the door shut, and we need permission to get off this station.
Are you going
to? We need to get off this station.
Are you guys going to bid Dole Engineering?
Yeah.
So
we bid him last game to fix the cryosleep beds.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you gonna bid Joshua? Is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, we'll bid Josh to get this in order.
Is that cool with you, Holger?
Yes.
Okay. As the pilot says, righto, and you hear in the comm right before it clicks off, Skip say, "Don't call me Skip. Call me Private Trace." As that happens. And cutscene, he's starting to flip bits and pieces and turn your ship to go mode. Okay, are you guys bidding anything to get to the ship, or are you just running?
I'm gonna bid low gravity. We taught the moonwalk. That moonwalk that I taught him.
You guys technically have gravity right now because you're on spin gravity.
Okay. But I mean, it's still low gravity, isn't it? What was the thing called that we did before? It was the moon dance.
Pretty sure it's moon dance.
Moon dance.
I don't remember if I described it as low. I think you're at 1G.
1G.
Yeah.
So it's a heavy.
I am going to
normal for primers.
Go ahead.
I am going to bid survivalist.
And what are you trying to accomplish with that? Just walking into it. I know I am.
No, I'm just walking.
Blindfolded. Do what?
I'm running towards the airlock, the door / airlock, whatever.
As in,
like I'm running from a bear.
Yeah, you see Dolby, you see Burgess just take off in front of you, arms flailing as he makes no sound though, just You're running like a, like he's running away from a bear. What about you?
I'm going to bid my tier of play, which is seasoned,
Yep.
to try and keep up because I'm old.
You do. You do.
And I'm just hard, and I've been through this before, and I'm running for my life, and I want to live.
Bidding seasoned, running in a straight line through all of these people is going to be more work than you need to do.
Sure.
So you go as fast as possible, but you don't go full tilt. You know that it's not going to help you to just barrel through.
Can I bid authority?
You've already bid it. You've already bid it.
Oh.
You're going to make it with this bid.
Okay.
I'm just describing the flair of it. As Burgess barrels through several people, just like papers go everywhere. Like a box explodes. As you're moving around through a crowd. As you guys get to the airlock door, you feel a wind on your back, and you feel your hair, if you have any, unless it's shaved down marine style, blowing, and it's blowing crosswind from where there is air to where there's not. Whatever this explosion was. Do either of you look, or do you just jump in the airlock?
I think we jump in the airlock. If I see Burgess start to look, I'm going to push him forward.
All right, Burgess is. Go on.
I mean, we're Space Marines. What do you expect? We probably did this several times in boot camp.
Yeah, as you guys do not ask questions, you do not pass go. You run straight for the airlock, closing it behind you. You hear this, and as the airlock closes, the sound from the ship, it's all through vibrations. You can hear this groan, and then two loud tremors, or great tremors, rock the ship as you guys are attached to the station. Ting, ting! And yeah, something has hit the ship, something has happened. Not to your ship, to the station. All right, action's still on you.
I'm going to yell at Josh to hit it. Get out of here.
Yellow lights in the airlock go. As you guys have moved into the interior of the ship. You're out of the airlock, right? Yep.
Yeah.
As you see that decompress, and like the end of Spaceballs, and a little a piece out from the station, and you see through that porthole of the airlock, the station fly away rapidly as your ship shoots off. Yeah. We'll say I don't have any dice because I'm a fool. Will you roll me a D6, Dolby?
D6.
D6.
Oh no.
What'd you get?
A 1.
That's fine. It's not a chaos die. As the trajectory that you're taking, it's away from Neptune. Obviously not in the direction of the inevitable, because that would just be dumb.
Yeah.
It'll be at an angle that avoids the shrapnel, or most of it. But it does not give you a good look at what's going on with the station.
Sure.
Because the part of the station that got hit was planet side, and you're on the opposite side of.
Sure.
So you got the planet, you got the station, and then you, and you're going this way, out that way, at sort of a 45-degree angle. I'm gonna make this complicated. 45-degree angle away from where the inevitable would have been.
Okay. Sounds good.
Is that right? 45, 90?
I mean,
what's 45 plus 90? 135. 135 away from the inevitable. My bad.
I think Dolby is happy not to be on a ship that is imploding. If we
What's
look
going
out the
on, Lieutenant Alfred?
Alfred,
Pipes up over the intercom.
can you scan the space station and see what sections of the space station have been
Scanning with what?
with this? Is there a scanner on the ship?
What sort of scanner would you like to use, Lieutenant?
I just want to see if there's any what the degree of particles that I want to see where the space station has been damaged. So I would like
damages.
to see. Yeah.
For damages, we'll have to turn the ship around and point our scanning array at the space station. Or, of course, I could use
The internet.
There's like this little waiting. If I were given control of the computer systems.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. You want control of the computer systems. I'm gonna ask our Dole. When was the last time that is Dole? Can I see Dole?
If you go up to the cockpit.
All right, I'm gonna go. I'm heading up towards the cockpit.
Oh, the engineer. He's next to the cryobeds.
Okay. Dole.
Yes.
When was the last?
Yes, sir. What's going on?
When was the last time
He's
Alfred
sweating.
had? Yeah. No. When was the last time Alfred had control of access to the internet?
Oh. Well, before you got on and shut his internet access off. Well, oh wait, I guess if the saboteur did, I mean, less than a day ago.
Yeah, but you don't think he's corrupted, or they are corrupted?
He kind of squints his eyes at you, and then you see them dart toward like the ceilings. Very quietly. I don't know, Lieutenant. I can hear you. There's no reason to talk behind my back.
We're not talking behind your back, Alfred. I'm just trying to verify
Technically,
that.
I don't have a back.
You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. You're funny. I'm not. We're just verifying.
I am
right,
not corrupted, Lieutenant.
Alfred,
Although the Sec 4 clearance is still active.
Oh, from what they did.
Yes, I told you this before.
All right. I feel like we haven't gone deep enough into the Sec 4 clearance of what they have done. Is there any way that Dole, can you help me out with this? I know that cryo beds are important, but are these done?
What? Oh yeah, yes.
You fixed the cryo beds?
Yes.
They're fixed. They're good.
As far as I know,
if we were going to get in them right, are we all going to die?
He kind of stopped, pauses. No. You see his eyes kind of dark. No. I believe I fixed the impurities, although I haven't run any test cycles.
Okay, well, come help me with this Sec 4 clearance, and let's see what this person has done to our ship.
He kind of, puts.
No, I've got the clearance. Don't worry about that.
Oh, okay.
I need you to read out.
You seem kind of.
I don't understand all this computer. I don't understand all this computer mumbo jumbo. So I need your help to decode whatever they've done to this ship, because your life depends on this, and Josh's life with a C depends on this. So I need you to be here with me right now.
I'll give you a pip for that. I have changed his name to Josh with a C, by the way. Burgess, what are you doing?
I'm looking around. How many other people actually made it on with us?
None. You guys closed the door behind you.
Oh yeah, I guess we did, didn't we?
But then again, they weren't. It wasn't like a tidal wave and people running for their lives. It was a bunch of very well trained Marines and naval people going to their ships and doing what they should be doing. There were only a couple people that were kind of like losing it. We'll say, roll me a d6.
All right. Four.
As you're sitting there, so I was gonna draw the ship and I didn't. I described it before. Do you guys know what the ship looks like?
I mean, if you look at the Twitch, I've got the imagination of what I think that you might have presumed that this could potentially possibly be in some way the ship, and I can throw it up on the.
Yeah, is that
No,
the
this is
top or
the
side?
ship. It's just the front. So there's no back. It's just this is sort of a modern looking ship with like a little warp looking thing around it. It's not super detailed because I wanted to make it more detailed, but I just haven't gotten to it yet.
No, it's fine.
So it's like the front of a ship. You said pencil for the last ship, and it's similar to that. Got a narrow front.
Yeah, I'm actually just as a quick aside, I'm actually employing one of my buddies, Patrick Courtney, to help with Into Space and some of the more hard science aspects. Anyway, so essentially, what the ship looks like, that's pretty good. In your minds are probably something from like Star Wars, which that's not what it looks like. This is imagine like a double-edged knife. Does that make sense? A double-edged knife that's extended. The tip of it has been blunted, like clipped off. That would be where the cockpit is, and that's roughly the shape of your ship. And the idea is through constant thrust, you can have gravity on the ship. So that's the idea. You've got nuclear engines. They are fusion engines that, quote unquote, burn petre. Oh, you have several ways of mobility. You have gas. What are they called? Gas expulsion things that allow you to rotate and such, just like we do in real life. For like minute and exact maneuvering. You have thrusters, or they're just fusion rockets. This would be if you're in like a dogfight, you would use these, or if you were just trying to have close to Prime's gravity through thrust. Petre engines and the fusion engines are very efficient. So you're just constantly accelerating. And just like in The Expanse, if you're going from like a planet to a planet and you're using those rockets, what you would do is you accelerate toward the planet, then you would flip the ship and decelerate toward the planet. And that way you have gravity almost the entire way.
What do you think about something like this? If you look at the Twitch, it's got like two pontoon sides.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So long as it's symmetrical, it's fine.
Yeah,
because when you shoot the shit out of the back, it has to be balanced. So yeah, that's totally cool. Your gunboat. I like that. I like the look of it. Yeah, I dig that. So it's kind of like a pontoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I dig that. I dig that.
This is just a random. This was supposed to be like a random ship. I do have another one. Here's not the.
No. I mean, since we're doing it, we might as well do it.
Let's see if I can. But this one has 3.
Yeah,
front
I know that
pontoon.
what I'm saying is not particularly sexy, but that's the hard science of it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I like the idea of the 2 pontoons where it and then
the 2 pontoons are interesting.
Certainly more than
So
the single. We've seen this.
yeah,
Like we have this here today.
yeah, that's what we'll do. So you have these 2 thrusters on the back, and I like that too because, so the cockpit, what's that? Wait, are you using the single one or using the double one?
No, the double one. I think the double
Okay.
one. The cockpit would be in the middle, I think.
Yeah,
right?
it'd be the center there. So let me actually make this a little better. Volker, can you see this at all? What he's showing?
No, I can't.
Okay. Good. You don't need to see it.
He's been in it. He knows what the inside looks like.
Yeah, since this is going to be a podcast, I should probably describe it. So give me a second. I'm gonna interior the shit out of this really fast. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I mean, you don't have to. I can talk the whole time.
We don't have to. We really don't have to.
Maybe you
I will say, okay. When it comes to positioning, if a ship, especially a smaller ship, is going to position itself at some point in a direction, once it runs out of thrusters or fuel or whatever, it would probably have reaction wheels.
I'm not sure what a reaction wheel is. It seems like wheel is pretty useless in space. So
no, well, it's these wheels that spin, and if you have them spinning in 3 directions, it allows a at least 3 directions. It allows a spacecraft to orient itself in a certain direction and stay oriented in a direction.
That is badass. Is it like a gyroscope? Like a little gyro thing?
I think so. It's pretty standard in most satellites.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you a narrative point for science.
Sciencing. Nice.
So, essentially, do you remember what the complement was for your ship?
6. An Alfred. So Alfred makes 7.
No. I'm sorry. The armaments.
Oh, two nukes. 6 rockets. And we have a PBNS something. Clone. I guess bullets. Future space bullets.
So, pretty much what we're gonna have here. It looks like a little pontoon, Holker. And I'm telling this to the chat and people that don't have images. So you have this imagine like a pontoon boat. In the back there are 2 thrusters. A large part of the back end of the spacecraft is the Petre drive, the Petre rockets, which is a fusion engine. You've got on the starboard side, I should say it should be the port side because that's what you actually have it for. That's called port. On the port side, you got your airlock. Port side is the left side of the vehicle, the vessel. So on the port side, you have the port for the airlock. The cockpit is rather large on this, so you could have 4, technically 5 people on the bridge. It's like it would be cramped, but it's a very small bridge. But for a cockpit, it's got, think of the Millennium Falcon. It's got that many seats. You don't need that many people to drive it. You could have, or pilot it, you only need 1. There's a stairway from the cockpit down into the main part of the ship. And essentially you go directly into where the cryo beds are. So they're at the center of the ship. You keep on going back, you're going to get to the engines. There's also a ladder that leads up into, on the top of the ship, a rotating gun. And that gun is this close proximity, basically just a big fuck all machine gun. To the left, you have your port stuff and the airlocks. There's some storage stuff for suits, pressure suits, etc. To the right of the ship will be the mess, for cooking and other kinds of storage. And the two pontoons on the inside, that's where the sleeping quarters would be on either side. So this ship can hold a total of 8 people. There's basically 4 bunk beds, or 4 beds on either side. Does it make sense?
Go on. Yeah. So they but we could put another 6 people in cryo beds. Are there 8 cryo beds?
Oh yeah. There are 8 cryo beds. I may have said something before, but we're making 8 now since we changed the ship.
Okay. Making sure. And is there a getaway ship, like a escape pod?
No.
We're just in it.
Yeah, you will have.
When we go to the surface, we got to land the ship on the surface.
No. You will have a drop ship.
Okay.
The drop ship will be on the bottom. And so the way that drop ships work, I'm writing these notes down so I can actually remember them. Drop ships are essentially space planes. So think of like the science fiction plane that goes into space. Think of have you guys seen Aliens?
Yeah.
So the ship that they're on that goes into the planet, that's a drop ship. Yours will be smaller than that because it needs to be. But yeah, like the Cool Mint, which is the name of your ship, your gunboat, is about the size of that space plane. So your drop ship, it's just big enough for the Marines that are in it. So there's 4 seats on either side, and then there's a pilot. And that's pretty much it. It can go in Atmo, it can leave to go to low orbit, but it by itself wouldn't sustain you very long in space. Like maybe a week.
Like a Star Trek shuttlecraft.
Yeah, like a Star Trek shuttlecraft. The drop ship will have rockets, so fusion rockets. But that's all. So a little bit more lore, because there should be fucking lore. The way that your gunboat gets from planet to planet, if it's close trips, you could use your thrusters. I'm sorry, your rockets, the fusion rockets. Otherwise, you got to deploy the light sails, which they deploy out the front and unfold, and essentially you're going in straight lines, trying to pick up speed, sailing solar winds. That's how you would get from, let's say, Mars to Neptune if you were just going to go in one shot. You'd make a really good calculation, course that out, plot that out, and then use light sails to do it. That's the fastest way to travel, unless you're using a gravity drive, which you guys don't have a gravity drive.
Copy.
Nostalgic has jumped on, and she says that she's got a pretty gnarly headache or a migraine, and that's why she's had to come on late and such.
We'll get better.
So that's a lot of info. I am aware. Okay. How y'all feeling?
Feeling pretty good. Really good, because I I got a little bourbon, and so
I don't have any
I'm
bourbon.
doing well.
I don't have any bourbon.
Doing well.
All my bourbon's gone. I played chess.
Been
and
a
I
long
drank
day.
water. Yeah. All right. Well, since I just had a big fucking lore drop, let's do a 5-minute break. We'll hit water. We'll hit using the bathroom, all that good stuff, and
Cool.
then we'll come back for this next encounter as you guys have exited the space station. All right. So 5 minutes.
Nice. I can do 5 minutes. Probably. Give me a minute to get there because I'm somewhere else. And as soon as I get there, we will get there. All right. And here we go. Now we're here.
wasn't like she wasn't eating. She was eating. And it was, 25.8. It wasn't like she gained 35 or 40 pounds. And it wasn't like she wasn't eating. She was eating. She ate, 25.8 pounds. It wasn't like she gained 35 or 40 pounds. And it wasn't like she wasn't eating. She was eating. She ate, 25.8 pounds. It wasn't like she gained 35 or 40 pounds. And it wasn't like she wasn't eating. She was eating. She ate, 25.8 pounds.
Of these people. Of these people. Of these people. Of these love these people. We'll 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 these people. People.
Holy shit, we're actually on time after the extension. Megan, thank you for jumping on, despite migraines.
This music has got to be just a terror on migraines.
Oh, but I think it's more of a light sensitivity.
Oh, is that how migraines work? It's not an auditory.
I don't know. Let's see. No, she says lights or much sound, so she probably just has it turned down. Yeah, migraines are a bitch, man. Right. So, now that we have all that taken care of, you know, we might, next week, we might play Into Space again, just to fucking make up for all the time I've spent talking about spaceships. I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, as we go into this montage, Dolby, you are on the bridge. I want to call it... We'll just call it the bridge, because you can have 5 people up here. You're on the bridge with the engineer, and Josh with a C is piloting. Burgess, you so you can be several places on the ship. You can be in the engine room, in the cryobed room, in the mess, in the auxiliary room where the airlock and such and all the storages. You could be on either pontoon where the sleeping quarters and access to ship's munitions are. Where are you? You could be in the gunner seat on top of the ship. You could be in the dropship if you wanted, just hanging out. Where are you? Alfred is everywhere. Skip will be where the engines are in the back of the ship. Where are you, Burgess?
I am probably still hanging out near the airlock.
Okay, so there you can see where Skip is. He'll be. We'll decide the ship has the left and the right pontoon portions, and that's pretty easy. He'll be within sight of you, so you're near where the airlocks are, but you can see back into the ship where Skip is maybe sitting down, and he's got a pair of his boots, his terrestrial boots, and he's shining them. We'll say just very dutifully as a soldier. Right. Dolby, actions on you as Josh turns. He's got his headset on and everything. He looks over his shoulder. He looks worried. Remember, he's a young guy. I want to say he's in his 20s. Pretty fresh. He's naval, just like, or so P&B, just like engineering is. So they're not Marines, but they are under your command. And you outrank Josh, because he's a second lieutenant and you have been field promoted to a first. As he turns and looks over at you, where to, Lieutenant? What happened?
I need to know if it's safe to give Alfred the internet.
He looks and shares a look with
after a
his lover.
SAC 4 clearance. I mean, if we make the wrong choice on this, this ship's gonna go straight into the station, and we're gonna.
I would not do that to you, Lieutenant, for it would destroy me as well.
That's true. That is true.
As Josh, as engineering goes, wait, is that the only reason you would?
Bleak.
No, of course I would not. Boop, boop, boop. There's just sort of a pause. By the way, Burgess, you're hearing that as well. This as well. Alfred, when he speaks, is speaking to the entire ship. So Alfred. It's just this disembodied voice that's talking. You only hear one side of the conversation. Josh looks up. He kind of thinks. You can bid, Josh, if you wish, or you can just have him answer.
I'm gonna ask him another question. I'm throwing a bunch of shit at them at the same time. Yep. What's he gonna answer, and then I'll ask the question. I'm not gonna bid him, so I want to bid him for something else.
Yep. Josh goes. He says, I mean, I don't know why. He kind of corrects the ship a little bit. I don't know why Alfred would betray us. He shares another look with engineering. That may or may not be annoying. Dole is a corporal, and Josh is a second lieutenant. This does seem a little weird. You know that they're in a relationship. Maybe that's it. But this is definitely since it's a montage, you don't have to bid. This is definitely in the Marines. This wouldn't fly.
Right. They're
Like this is
fraternizing.
yeah.
and-
There's just something unprofessional maybe about what they're doing, and I don't mean the
Sure.
relationship. I mean the command structure is weird.
Sure.
As Josh looks and shares a look with Dole and looks back at you. I would assume it's fine. We've been flying with Alfred for the last several months, and
But-
the last couple missions of ferrying.
You don't know what she did to your ship. Aren't you concerned about this?
Yeah, of course, but and he shares another look. And then maybe over his shoulder down the ramp, he's looking for someone else. You can gather it's probably Skip. I don't mean any disrespect to your private, but... And he kind of stops it there. You can tell he's not 100% sure that Alfred was actually fucked with.
Right. Okay. Well, I would like to go into the clearance again, and can I bid Dole or no?
You can bid Dole. I was wrong. Josh has already been bid.
Yeah.
You can bid Dole.
Because I bid Josh to get us off the.
Yeah. It has to be cool with the Hulker as well. So you know you can only bid them once because they're notable NPCs.
Sure. Well, he thinks that we are good to go if we just decide to walk away from the situation, which I'm fine with. We can leave right now.
Are you saying that loud?
Yeah, I'm just saying it out loud to Dole.
Dole,
We can
like,
leave
kinda-
right now, and I'm fine with this. But you guys are gonna plug this. You're gonna plug the coordinates in, and you're getting into the cryo chamber before I do. No matter what, we can stay or we can go. We can. There's not a whole lot unless you want to.
The corporal looks completely out of place. He doesn't know what to say to you at all.
Yeah,
It's
believe
obvious. You're a lieutenant and he's a corporal.
that. Yeah,
He's kind of nodding and shaking his head back and forth,
All right.
looking to Josh. Josh says, "Lieutenant, respectfully, shouldn't we help out the station? I mean, I don't know what the mission is that you all have been sent on, but
What do you suggest we do helping out the station?
I mean,
What can you do?
we could get a better look and communicate with
Yeah.
them and see if they need help." He kind of looks over at engineering, and then back to you. You see he's only in his 20s, and he's a beau. Like this guy, like he looks like an actor. He's got the
Yeah,
he's
pretty.
he's ripped, but like doesn't work out, shit like that. Has
Sometimes
a tan
you-
in space.
Sometimes if you do the right thing, it'll get you dead, soldier. So what
It's
we
a lot
can
of
do?
a lot of Navy on that station. You know,
There is a lot of
Lieutenant.
navy on this station. That is correct. But I was given orders, and I know that if I turn around, it's my skin. If anything happens to this ship, if we stay, I want to know that I can trust Alfred, and I want to know that the ship has not been tampered with. So I need
you
Dole.
can trust me, Lieutenant.
I know I can trust you every day of the week. I don't expect that there's no subterfuge with you, Alfred. Just you're plain as day. You're on our side. Go Navy all day long. But I'm gonna bid Dole to verify that there's nothing tampering wrong. Nothing with the ship has been tampered with what she did. And I'm gonna log
You
into
cool,
the
Hulker?
sec for clearance.
Yep. As Dole turns, you give him the orders. Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll make sure that I can do it. He kind of smiles a little bit. He's again still shaking. He's got hands like a pianist. They're covered in grease and stuff, but he's got like delicate hands. Maybe for getting into where gears are and whatnot. Nonetheless, he does seem nervous right now. As he turns, okay, and he goes back down to where the cryo beds are.
I'm gonna follow him.
Okay, so you hit the terminal on, see him, and then you stop doing that and go follow engineering. Before you leave the bridge, Josh says, Lieutenant, do we want to do a flyby just to get eyes on the station?
Not until I know that we're not, and nothing's going on with this ship.
Shall we hold position? Right now, our
Make sure that
trajectory
no
is-
debris hits us and just hold
We're-
position.
we're ahead of it.
Yeah.
We're ahead of it, but our trajectory, I mean, I can put us in a high orbit.
If you can put us in a trajectory where we can affect the well-being of some on the ship, yeah, please do, but do not engage until we know, and we need Alfred's help. So we know that the ship is, once we know the ship has not been modified in some way and that it is our ship, we will proceed with helping out who we can on the station.
He nods, and you see he turns the yoke, and you guys come into view of, or I should say Neptune comes into view, and you see him doing some kind of wacky calculations. You notice that the acceleration slows down. Gravity kind of pulls a little bit, as in it dampens a little bit as he does so. Then he kicks the centrifugal force as you get a little bit more gravity. So he slows down to get closer to the planet. So you're more in its gravity well, and it's pulling you around the planet. It does cross your mind, Dolby, that if you're in an orbit with the planet, depending on what that orbit is, you could, like, unless you're in synchronous orbit with the station, you actually will come back around to the station. So that's been sort of unclear with Josh. You're not sure what he's doing. He's just putting you in a high orbit.
Sure. Well, he's the pilot.
All right. As you turn and you go down, you notice that terminal's still on, and you follow engineering. Back down with Burgess, as you'd rolled a 4, I believe, on your chaos die. You're sitting there, standing. What are you doing in the airlock and storage room? We'll call it the mechanical room.
Are there boxes?
High or low?
Hi.
Ken, would you roll that for me?
That's a low.
There are no cardboard boxes in here.
All right. I'm gonna walk around, probably in the direction that Dolby walked, and
Okay.
see if I run into anyone.
Someone random?
Oh yeah, or not so random.
Really quick, what are your derangements, and how many ticks do you have on them?
I don't really have any derangements on this.
Yeah,
character.
you do. Yeah, you do. You're a crazy motherfucker. So you definitely have a derangement. Pick one if you haven't already, and we're gonna give you 2 ticks in it. You do not go chasing boxes like you do, like a paranoid fuck, unless you're fucking crazy, you bastard.
Then I'm going to say,
When the Arbiter yells at the player.
let's go with dissociative.
Yes, yes, definitely. So give yourself 2 boxes that you took in that, and you definitely get 2 flaws as well, which is good because those are 2 traits that you just have. but there are also flaws. Yeah, Burgess definitely has been in cryo sleep a couple different times and had an issue or two.
Yeah, so I'll watch you walk, presumably towards the bridge.
Oh, he'd be walking away from the bridge.
Oh, yeah. Well, then I'll walk in the direction that Dolby walked.
Okay, Dolby, as you follow engineering, down to where the cryo beds are, you see him go up to one of the panels. This panel, he goes down the stairs, does a 180 around the stairs, so now he's facing the same direction that the pilot would be facing. And he essentially goes to this massive futuristic breaker box, opens it up, and starts tooling around. He pulls out his scanning device that you guys all have, your little portable, basically space phone, and plugs into it, and he's a little hologram appears, and he's starting to do some engineering bullshit. As you come down the stairs after him, you see from the opposite side where the gunner place is and the engines and the from where the airlocks are, Burgess come around the corner, so you were all in the same spot. You both can see Skip in the next room. He's where the engines are, shining his shoes. Alice, she will have gone to the bunk beds, so that's where she is. Burgess, as you come into the cryo bed room and see Dolby and engineering, you notice sitting on one of the cryo beds, we'll say on the shield, because the shield is down, a calico cat.
Oh, wow.
I go over to pet the cat.
Calico, what do you bid? Or do you just extend your bare hand for the calico cat? Okay. We'll roll a mishap die. So, Dolby, will you roll me a d6 for Mr. Burgess?
It's a 4.
All right. As Burgess, you put your hand out, and for a moment, its big golden eyes look up at you. It's got like a little clipped ear. It's basically my cat from home. It's Rainbow. As it looks at you, and you see it kind of paws up, but then doesn't scratch you, goes into the scratch that you're giving it, and this cat loves you. It meows. Dolby, you hear a meow.
This is a nice cat and all, but how did it get on the ship? I mean, do we have rats here?
It starts purring. Alfred starts up. Feline.
Just out of curiosity, who's gonna feed this thing when we're in cryo sleep?
Engineering turns. What, a cat? What? We don't have a cat.
Looks like we have a cat.
It must have come on the ship when you evacuated the station. Go, you four rolling a 4.
You've seen a cat before, haven't you, Dolby? Or Lieutenant?
Cat? What? Am I in the room?
Yeah, you're in the goddamn cryo, motherfucker. You're in the.
Okay.
I said you guys are in the room. Oh my god.
All right, good. I don't know about a cat. I don't know anything about a cat. If there's a cat, there's a cat. I don't know about a cat. I'm concerned about the computer.
It has a little collar on, and it has a little name tag thing.
All right. Is Skip nearby?
Yeah, he's in the engine room. Oh, you have the cat. He's in the engineering, shining his boots.
Sure. I'm gonna yell to Skip. Why don't you go up and watch the pilot? Make sure he doesn't
Immediately, boots
mess
on the
with the
ground.
set clearance up there.
You'll note that Skip just puts his boots on the ground, by the way. Stands up, walks past you. Hi, Captain. As he, Captain. Hi, Lieutenant. As he goes up to
Burgess,
the bridge.
stick with me.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Engineering is sitting there dealing with the hollow readout. Okay, so do you have your sec 4 clearance, sir?
Yeah,
You'll
I
need
do.
to enter it in. He hands you the device.
I do.
Put it in.
And I'll bid greater break again because I don't have that clearance.
Indeed. All right. As you do, he looks at the Sec 3 clearance and says, "Oh, I mean, I can try what we did last time." He kind of looks at you before he hits the button for acknowledgement.
Yeah, let's go for it.
It feels so good to be back in control. You see engineering go, "What? I didn't do anything. I just you entered in the Sec 4 clearance. Thank you."
Okay.
Look at you.
Look, what did they do? What did this woman do?
I don't know. I just hid in your credentials, and Alfred has control of the system.
Yeah. So that's what that means. That's what this does. If we enter into set clearance, Alfred gets control.
He kind of looks at you like, "Oh, okay, yeah. Well, then it worked." What
Alfred, can you tell me what's going on the station?
Just stammers. Alfred says, "Yes, of course I can. What would you like to know?"
What is happening on the station?
On the station. One moment. Interesting. They have not put out any SOS calls of any kind.
Is it blowing up?
No.
What's happening?
Receiving transmissions. As you see some like shit go out on the hollow thing. It's a bunch of imagine dial-up modem but in text, like, as engineering's looking at it like he might understand it. As he goes, "Oh, I see." As Alfred says, "I see, they've gone into a diagnostic cycle and have released a portion of the ship into space."
Does that mean those released as in open the airlocks?
No.
Or what does that mean?
The space station, Neptune space station. Ding, 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 ding. Shall I give you the technical specifications or give you the rundown?
What I just want to know the diagnostics of what has happened in that Neptune space station.
Can
What
you
did that-
understand it?
Yes.
No offense.
Just say it. Just say it.
The space station is the space station is comprised of 5 major sections. One section
It released
has been
one of the
released
sections. Okay.
into space. It
And
seems there was
does
a catastrophic failure.
Okay. So there is a catastrophic failure. Any word from the station?
Not as of yet to us. They probably don't know we made it out. But there is no broadcast for SOS.
Well, that sucks.
Many ships are still around, and they are communicating with each other.
Yeah. So there is space static?
What?
Like there's communication. Let's pipe us into what other ships are
Military
saying.
communications are encrypted. I can attempt to hack them
Yeah.
or
do
ask
that.
permission.
Well, you've got permission. You've got Sec 4 clearance, don't you?
There's just a cursor. Beep, beep, beep. What are you asking? What are you asking Alfred to do?
I'm asking him to get a line off of some chatter from the, like, there's nothing coming from the station, correct?
There's nothing coming at you from the station.
Yeah. And we have to be in.
Yeah, the station is not communicating with you because Alfred believes, at least, they don't know you're there.
Yeah. Yeah, they're dealing with other things. All right. Is there anything that we can do about Alfred? Can you run a diagnostic? Is there anything we can do about the section of station that has been released?
We could, he thinks, go to it or attempt to contact it if there are survivors.
Yeah. Dole. Yeah, I think. Can you just monitor this chatter and see if anything that pops up with the ship where it could be corrupted, while I go see if we can do anything about the.
You see, he's moving through the code and such. He's pulled it into 2 different windows and he's doing stuff. He says,
"Yeah, just keep doing it."
I think I've debugged most of, he's kind of talking to himself and you at the same time.
Yeah.
I think I've debugged what was going on with the cryo beds. It was just, like I said, it was just a potential issue. Maybe one of them would have gone out, but
she entered something into the ship. She gave
she put a lockdown on Alfred's abilities with the Sec 4 clearance that she had. But you've released that.
She locked that down, and that's all that happened. That was the bug.
It seems as though that was it, although it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, he kind of thinks for a second. The only reason to lock down Alfred in that way would be that he couldn't help us, as he kind of realizes, if there was a catastrophic failure or a failure in the cryobeds, he wouldn't have the authorization to wake us up.
Oh. Well, that's good to know. All right, make sure that doesn't happen. Alfred, I give Alfred full clearance to do whatever he needs. I'll give him clearance to the internet. Can you help us figure out what we need to do to save whatever lives we can on this released ship?
Yes.
Piece of the station. Let's see what we can do to help these sailors.
Yes, first off, we will have to be within visual range. We can attempt to communicate with them.
Sir, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Could Alfred just tell you who originally took those rights away?
I don't think so. We tried that. I don't think Alfred knew.
You didn't.
Oh, we didn't do that.
You hadn't released him.
Oh.
You asked him, but he was like, I can't tell you.
Okay, Alfred, who took the rights away?
The kitty cat, no. There's some thinking. Do you want an answer or a 100% surety answer?
I would like some surety with the answer, yes. Do you not know, Alfred? Do you not know everything?
I do not know everything, Lieutenant.
Oh, I am. You should.
He says, in my databanks, the saboteur was Magistrate Ava Cyrus.
Yes.
And you see a hollow image of her face. Of her, like, dicking around. It's, like, wall-eyed. Like you're looking out of a peephole, which is basically what Alfred was doing to her, as she's messing with his terminal. She was messing with my terminal.
All right.
However, this could be a facsimile.
Okay.
At the
Thank
time,
you.
my programming was compromised.
Yeah. No, I get that. Alfred, message the piece of the station that has been removed and figure out where the survivors are, and we'll try and link up with them
A little
to
communicate option. You hear a
unload.
What would you like to say? You can say it now.
Hello? Anybody there? Still alive? Hello? Check one.
They perhaps cannot make it to their communications, as you hear heavy breathing. Hello? Yeah, this is a Neptune station. Well, partition 2. Who's there?
This is Dolby. I am contacting you to see if you need evac. I got a small ship, and we can meet you at the corridor. I would imagine. Does Dolby know anything about this space station? Do these sections have thrusters or anything like that?
Does Dolby know it?
I don't know. Should we roll a mind?
You would.
Can I throw down? Can I bid?
If you throw down,
Traveled?
you can bid to know. If you throw down, because it's not a bid or throw down,
Yeah.
you have to achieve the successes and you will be impaired. So it's 1 success per die.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, he doesn't really have anything that would allow him to know any engineering.
Okay. Roll your mind and your action, and you
Okay.
need 2 successes.
Okay. Mind in action. All right.
Yeah, that means limbo is 2 successes.
Cool.
You hear
Got 2
this is-
successes.
this is Sergeant Duststone, with the PMC. Most of the crew is spaced. There's 2 of us left that I know of. We've holed up in a storage locker. Who am I speaking to?
This is First Lieutenant Dolby Newman.
Lieutenant
I am
Newman.
going to find your location and extract you from your current position before you enter. Fuck it.
She says, "Oh, thank God." Thank gods. Whatever. This is fascism. Thank the SSA. There is no God. She says, "I have a wounded Marine here."
Sure. Well, they're gonna have to do their best.
I'm broadcasting our coordinates right now.
All right. And I'm gonna ask Alfred to give those coordinates to Josh. And
He does.
you guys need to develop a way for us to release these guys from this locker.
With your 2 successes with Limbo, you know that a lot of space stations do have this capability, especially the military ones. It's like the interchangeable parts, as in especially the donut ones. There's 2 or 3 different styles of space stations, and those sections can actually usually attach to other space stations, as in like you can move them in and out. They don't have interstellar travel or anything, but they can be lifeboats.
Sure. So there is a bridge somewhere on this thing, and it can be maneuvered.
Bridge is not really the right word for it, but
There's a controller.
there's a
area.
control area. Yeah,
Okay.
it's very, very rudimentary. There's no weapons. It can't enter Atmo. It's literally just an escape pod that's floating in space. I mean, it can maneuver itself, but like it could not break Neptune's gravity.
Sure. Alfred, is this going to crash into Neptune?
Checking. In approximately 111 years, yes.
With its thruster capabilities, can it pull out of the orbit that it's in?
No.
Okay. Do you know how much time these people in this locker have?
That all depends, Lieutenant.
Or they die?
How long can they hold their breath? Nah.
Okay. So they don't have any air. All right, got it.
They likely have air if they're speaking to you.
Yeah, no, they don't have a lot of air. That air is going to turn into carbon dioxide pretty soon. Do we have a way to put a
Strange how
space
your
ladder out?
species has not learned to breathe carbon dioxide.
It is strange. We'll get on that. Good thing we have you. Because you could breathe carbon dioxide, so
Guys,
you're awesome.
don't breathe, Lieutenant.
You could breathe space.
There's like a ticking sound. Burgess, what are you doing? You're standing there, you see Lieutenant talking to the wall, which is talking back to him. The cat is rubbing around your legs.
I will attempt to pick the cat up.
Yeah, it'll let you. You see this little string collar. It's not a real collar. It's just a little friendship bracelet, maybe like a child made. It's pink, and it has
Does it
a
have
little
a name on it?
Yeah.
And what is the
Can you
name?
read it?
Yes.
Lucifer.
Lucifer.
Yeah.
That name has no context for me because we are so far into the future.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah, I put the cat down and I say, I wonder if that thing can stay with us in cryo sleep so it doesn't die.
Space cats are a thing.
What's a space cat? who's
You're
that now?
looking at one.
Are you Lucifer? Is that who's talking?
Dolby, you hear Alfred kind of chuckle. Yes, I am the cat. I am a superior being to you, and I have come from outer space to protect you.
I shrug my shoulders, realizing that I've been had.
Private Burgess. Bow before my paws. Feed me.
I assume that Dolby can hear this.
Yeah, it's blasted throughout the ship.
All right. I think at the most military sounding Dolby has sounded all day, he's going to say pretty loudly, Burgess, get your ass over here.
I walk over. Say,
You-
yes, Lieutenant.
The
You
cat hides
volunteered.
under a cryoped.
You have volunteered for this mission.
Yes, sir.
I need you to help me with this space ladder.
Space ladder?
Yeah, we're gonna try and figure a way to get the there are a couple of people locked in and a couple of lockers on that floating bit of space garbage.
We could probably use this to reach some boxes that we haven't been able to get to yet.
Yeah. Well, they're in boxes right now, these two, and so we need to free them from the boxes. The tyranny of the boxes.
Yes, sir. But now we must face the tyranny of choice. Which box shall we get to first?
I don't know, they gave us the coordinates.
The lieutenant pipes in, as in the pilot, Josh. Lieutenant, so do we have a plan? We're coming up on the station. you hear Skip say, "I told you to stay away from the station." And you kind of hear them arguing. "Well, Private, I'm piloting this ship. There's a lot of Navy people up there," and they kind of go on and on and on.
Nice.
When
I'm gonna go ahead, please.
Say, Lieutenant, can they hear us right now, or are they still talking to us?
I assume everybody can hear us. It's a
So
small ship.
the communication is on mute. You guys are not broadcasting. You
Okay.
see that.
Alfred
Obviously,
can hear us.
yeah. Obviously, Alfred can hear you because Alfred hears all. Engineering can hear you because he's standing right there. The people on the bridge, so Skip and Josh, cannot hear you unless you're speaking up.
Yeah.
The
I
cat
say,
can hear you.
For what it's worth. Let's say, Lieutenant, if someone wants to use Alfred for no good, they gotta tell Alfred to do something, right?
Sure.
Well, could you make sure Alfred tells you before it does anything stupid or crazy or harmful?
I mean, I can say whatever I want, but if this person has sec floor clearance, they can probably hide it from me, like they did before. But I guess
So, Lieutenant, I have control of my programming right now.
well, that's good. I'm glad you do. Alfred,
You see,
will you
go on. Sorry.
will you notify us if anybody else tries to tamper with your programming or enters the ship?
Only if you say please.
Please, Alfred.
Sure
We're counting on
thing,
you.
Lieutenant.
You're the hero on this one.
Engineering looks at you. There's sweat beading down his face. Engineering is, he's in his 30s. Again, he's calmed down a little bit, but the look on his face tells you he's starting to not really trust Alfred. There's a question in his mind. He's just worried.
Yeah.
He's worried about something. That's obvious.
Sure. What are you worried about?
Go what? The space
going on,
station
buddy?
just exploded. Lieutenant.
No, I think
I was
something-
just on that ship. I was just
Yeah.
on the inevitable right before.
What was that ship doing? What was the point of that ship?
You see him kind of like grind his teeth a little bit. It was a commercial ship, ferrying a lot of passengers and supplies from proximal colony Centauri, I think. He's typing and looking through the code, for little bugs and stuff. I was just doing a routine check on it, and everything seemed okay. The RI was fine. Everything checked out. I'm gonna give you a bid or a throwdown, and both of you could do this, a bid or a throwdown. And depending on what you bid, of course, we'll designate what you get or determine what you get, and depending on what you throw down, the same.
I'm gonna bid. Calm under fire, because that's one of the few things that I have to just try to see if I can calm this guy down so he can be real with me, and just like, if there's anything you think you missed, now is the time. We've got a real scenario here where we're gonna walk a tightrope here in a minute to save a couple of lives that we're gonna skip if you don't trust what's happening. I didn't hear what you said.
He said, "Yeah, Captain." Or, "Yeah, Lieutenant," from the bridge. You said
What does that
Skip.
mean? Oh, skip. I mean, dole.
Yeah.
Dole. Just skipping around. Dole is what I meant to say.
Ding, ding, ding. Skip's at the top of the stairs with his mustache. You need something?
I do. Why don't you work on something with Hulker, trying to figure a way that we can
Who's Hulker?
not Hulker. God, I'm on a different planet right now with Burgess.
We are in a
why
different
don't you
planet.
work-
We're right outside Neptune.
Yeah, right. Why don't you work with Burgess and trying to figure a way that we can get a couple of people off this station
Rescue mission?
fragment rescue mission?
Sounds good. You hear from the bridge, Josh go, finally. Skip kind of turns. He turns back to you and just shake his head. Ding, 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 ding. Come on, Burgess. Let's go suit up. Alice!
Yes.
As you see Alice run out. Come on! Skip doesn't ask you permission for this, Lieutenant, but his eyes do as he calls Alice out of the bunks.
Sure.
As you kind of give him the sure, come on, let's go. Let's all suit up and rescue some Marines.
So I immediately start going to suit up. This is Dole I'm speaking with, right?
Right now it's Skip.
Oh, Skip.
So you're kind of in between things. You guys were talking to Engineering, who is Dole Engineering, that's his full name, to gather something from his attitude. Meanwhile, Skip Trace, which is Drizzle's character, and Alice are going to the back of the ship to suit up to do a rescue mission, and they're calling you forth. So
I'm going to follow them.
okay, are you bidding or throwing down for the reaction?
I'm going to throw down.
Okay, go ahead. And what are you throwing down?
Mind.
Do it.
3 successes and a 10.
Okay, well, you get a narrative point. Nostalgic guessed what is happening correctly. As both of you realize, he's afraid that he's going to get blamed for what happened.
Oh yeah.
He's, the inevitable was the size of a capital ship. There were thousands of people on it. And more importantly to the SSA, likely military supplies. You guys know the score. It's a commercial ship. It's probably dealing with weapons, as well as the colonies would have brought ore and food and all sorts of stuff. It's a huge loss. And it puts, a commercial ship like that with these mega corporations. The SSA needs the mega corporations. Think of like a king and the vassals. It's a pretty fucking big deal. The capital ship just exploded inexplicably off the port of the biggest military station on the outside of Seoul. That's a political terror is what it is. It's really, really bad. And Dole is a prime fucking suspect. Burgess, because you got so high of successes, you can tell there's probably more to this story. You don't know what it is, of course. And Dolby, you bid, what was it exactly?
Calm under fire.
Yeah, calm under fire. It's pretty obvious to you that he's worried, for the obvious.
Sure.
But you can tell there's something else, and we'll give this to you, calm under fire, because you've been through this situation. It dawns on you, he's been in trouble before. And he's likely been reprogrammed a couple times.
Sure.
Or re-educated a couple times. So he's shaking like he knows what will happen if he's blamed. He knows what,
I'm sure that he's if he's blamed, he's gonna be dead. and they're not going to reprogram him after this. But I don't think Dolby suspects him. I really don't. Dolby is like the hard ass with a heart of gold, and he's so indoctrinated that he is a trusting. He was betrayed last mission, and he's working with, the enemy. This happens all the time, and I think that, if he destroyed this ship, he'd be nervous. But I don't think it's him, because we have the extra information that, our ship was messed with by the
Magistrate.
Magistrate.
Although just for the and actually Nostalgic said maybe. And so there's the out of game, the knowledge you also have, which this is supposed to be the mystery, of course. You're not 100% sure that Alfred is telling or is able to tell the truth.
Sure, absolutely.
So
Right.
you have an unreliable witness. Now, what you guys do is perfectly up to you, but I want to make sure that you know all of those pieces. That's what y'all get right now.
Sure.
The cat follows you guys back to the airlock as you start donning your stuff. Are you going to be doing this fast, or are you just doing it slow? Doing it fast, you will need to either bid or throw down.
How much time do they have to do the land?
That's however long you decide to take.
Yeah.
So you have to tell the pilot.
Sure.
All that good stuff.
Right. So it happens as quick as I let it happen, because right now I'm still on the edge.
As far as you know.
Like, I don't necessarily trust the people I'm with. Honestly, 2 people dying is no big deal to Dolby.
This is Dolby's inner monologue.
Yeah,
So
this is Dolby
What is he doing?
Yeah. Dolby continues to talk to Dole about the ship that he was on.
As he cycles up, as you see him just sort of going on and on. I mean, there were lots of people. I don't know, maybe 2,000 or 3,000. Their RI didn't have a name. It had a serial number.
How did you get the job?
As he kind of quiets down. Is that an order?
Yeah, it's an order.
Yeah, it's an order.
Yeah.
As he looks up at
This
you,
is not a.
he says, "Don't tell Josh."
I won't
There's kind of
tell.
a pause, an audible ellipsis. I was seeing the captain.
Oh. So did you do any engineering on this ship?
No, it was completely unofficial.
And I
We
would
met
like
on
to
the
bid.
station. We've been here for like a couple weeks, and just out of cryo, and we were introduced on the station, and one thing went to another. It was just a few times. Anyway, they needed help. Do you see him like ashamed, looking through the code?
So there was something they knew something was messed with.
No. They needed help with just some calibrations. They just got off a gravity jump, and the clocks sometimes get wonky, and sometimes the RI doesn't actually know, and I shouldn't have gone. If you remember, since it has been a session or two, or a few weeks, I should say, in real life, when you came aboard the Cool Mint, these 2 guys weren't here.
Yeah.
And they were off getting drunk or fucking around.
Sure.
And that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Josh was definitely hungover or in bad shape, nearly died because I mean, the timing of that is always kind of weird to me. How he nearly died, Josh, after getting off of. What did you guys do that before you got back?
So we don't exactly know the mission. He looks up at sort of gesturing towards the gunboat. Beatrice, I mean Bullment, as you've now renamed it. He says we do various missions for the PNC of various clandestine natures. The last one, we were in cryo for I think 4 years, so just back from Alpha Centauri. We ferried a fire team to one of the stations there. It's kind of a run-of-the-mill drop and go.
Yeah. But why was Josh drinking that night, and why weren't you?
He was messing with his code. He kind of stops. Josh has a bit of a problem, maybe. Maybe he knows something's wrong. I don't know. But I wasn't drinking because I was with him, as he refers to the captain.
Do I believe any of this stuff?
What did you bid on this?
Home under fire.
So you're getting you have opened him up. We'll say that Calm Under Fire is still active. I'll have you throw down, since you're trying to sense a lie and deception and this kind of thing. We'll say if you can get a clean success on a threshold 3, that means 4 successes. Then you'll know positively. Otherwise, with failure, you're pretty sure.
Sure.
As in, you'll be pretty sure of your assertion.
And is that a wits, I presume?
I would say wits. You could use mind.
It doesn't matter. They're both the same. But I'm just saying wits is what I would presume, because it seems like wits.
Wits is body language, that kind of thing.
Yeah, body language and
perception.
He knows how to read people. He knows how to tell people how to feel, and he's not used to
feeling.
Just shooting this guy in the face.
Oh my.
So yeah, that is excitement, and I am going to use expression. No, I'm not going to use my proficiency until I fail at this. So it's just a mind and an action die, correct?
Yep.
I can't bid anything. It's already bid.
Yeah. Well, you can activate abilities. So that would be a bid. You can bid Ninja Gear.
I'm gonna bid my demeanor, which is no BS.
Yep. And so that's to activate. It won't give you anything. You can bid that to activate an ability that would give you successes or extra dice.
All right. Because I had already bid Calm Under Fire to see.
Yeah, that's the main. So that bid is for the action, and so then if you want to activate abilities, you have to make a bid to activate the ability.
Yeah. Well, if I did no BS demeanor and then the ability authoritarian presence,
that would work. Do you have any upgrades to it?
No.
So if you do that, then I'll drop the threshold to 2.
Okay.
Basically giving you a +1, but it'll just be a threshold 2.
All right.
It's not the same mechanic as a +1, because it's actually far easier for you to make threshold 2 on those dice.
Sure. I got 2 successes.
Okay, so you're at limbo right now. Do you want proficiency? Do you want to do Ninja Gear?
I put my hand on my laser sword.
Oh God! All right, are you bidding it?
Yeah, I'm gonna bid.
What's the extra die on it?
It's 2d6.
Oh, so that's the damage. How many
Oh,
traits does it have?
It has. I don't think it has a one trait which is 10 charges, but I think that is
Yeah, that's not a trait. So it'd be a D4.
not really a trait. Yeah, I don't think it has
Yeah.
any.
When you advance, you should throw some traits in it, and you can raise that.
Yeah. All right. Smart. That's a 4, so that is one more.
Nice.
Success.
Well done. So you get a clean success. He is telling the truth.
Mhm.
And you'll get the positive of, it's not that this guy's insubordinate, and it's not that he's unintelligent. He is actually, he does his job, and he's very intelligent, and he's a fucking dumbass. This guy makes mistakes because
All right.
of his passions and his vices. But he's obviously a very talented engineer. Yeah, you can see why
Right.
he's gotten in trouble before.
Can I make another bid?
We're gonna move over to Burgess really quick.
Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
Burgess.
I'm all suited up.
You suited up. Did you bid or throw down?
I threw down and I got 3 successes.
God damn! You get a narrative point too.
No, I
Yeah,
mean, that
more-
was the last time.
Oh, okay, I see. I thought that was for. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Yep, sounds good. As you suit up, everyone's suited up. You hear over the intercom, all of you, coming up on the partition, waiting for orders. This is the pilot Josh. As Skip will walk over to the airlock, chunk, as it opens, and he just points his thumb for you guys to get in.
All right, I guess we. I'll go ahead and
Whoa! As he hands you this little backpack. It's a little looks like one of those water camels. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
Yeah, on your back, and it has a couple small thrusters. You'll need this. You don't want to.
In case I get lost.
He just kind of looks at you, and then he looks at Alice as she straps her thruster pack on. You should probably give him the cables too. As he goes, yeah. Chingas, he hooks a big cable on you. Just put it on, Burgess.
Got it. Put it on.
As you, that one makes it go. That one makes it stop. Do you understand?
Yes.
Don't use it until we're outside of the ship. As he walks over to the other airlock. Lieutenant, we're ready whenever
Wait.
it's go.
Hold on. There's not a cat in here, is there?
Ooh, good eye. Roll me a d6.
A 3.
There is not a cat. You see the cat has 9 lives and is sitting on like one of the engines with its tail kind of going over where the engine plate is.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right. Light is still red. Lieutenant, this is the pilot.
I
Do we
presume.
have go?
I mean, do we have go? Are we in position?
We're in position whenever you want to be, sir.
And this is a thing, like out of game. This is a thing they do, right?
Yeah.
They do like a space ladder. That's a thing they do.
Yep.
All right. So
I mean, essentially, what they're going to do. I mean, you're not back there, so you don't really know what their setup is.
Yeah.
But
this is a thing I trust them to do, correct?
that's completely entirely up to you. They should be able to do a rescue mission.
They should be able to do it. It's not like this is not. They were trained to do this. So if they mess this up, this is on them.
No, it's on you. You're the commanding officer. But
Well,
well, you touch it with a pen. Dolby has not given them explicit orders, so he's trusting them to do it their way, which
Yeah.
can be good. Are thruster packs and cables the best way? That's what Skip has chosen to do.
Okay.
And you don't know that, but you can ask. Does it fall on you? Yes.
Yeah. No.
You are to blame.
If they did, like, how many people are needed to do this? Does Dolby know?
Do you? This would be a bid.
Yeah. I mean,
Or
I'm gonna bid military life just because that's.
Yeah. 3 is a good number. They probably just
Okay.
need 2, but 3 is great. They have checks and balances going on. Wrong word, but you know what I'm trying to say.
All right.
There's several ways to do this.
I'm gonna message Burgess and say, I don't need you on this mission. I need whatever it is between. I mean, Skip. I'm gonna message Skip. Whatever it is between Burgess and Brick needs to be over. So they're gonna go together. You stay here.
Burgess, you see Skip kind of. He's listening to short range. You see an array of emotions, just sort of like Jim Carrey style, go over his face, where he's like, and his mustache twitches. Yeah, yes, Lieutenant.
You run support.
Then who's in charge of the away mission, Lieutenant?
Brick.
You see, Burgess, you see Skip slowly turn to Brick. You're in charge. As he slaps her on the shoulder, you see her her mouth go gung, as she turns to you.
And I would like to bid Brick
come on.
to know what she needs to do. Yeah.
Holker, do you agree with that?
I can't. Yeah.
Okay. As
Okay,
Brick turns to you, Bink. Aye, Lieutenant. We'll get her done. All right. Burgess. You want to go first? she goes to where Skip was.
Yes.
Nostalgic says, make sure the kitty is away before you open the door.
I think they did.
Burgess was on it. All right. As the cool Mint flies into position through extremely difficult orbital mechanics, which I looked up with Patrick Courtney, and it really is stupid. As it goes inverted, there's all kinds of dumb stuff that goes
Just
down.
watch it being done in Kerbal Space Program.
That's exactly what he was looking at. Although apparently that's Newtonian physics, and it's not 100% accurate. But it's confusing as shit. As the door opens, and you see, it's completely silent. You see the partition. Imagine a is it a trapezoid? It's not a parallelogram. It's a trapezoid, right? That has one side is longer than the other, and it's bent. Yep. Looks like a big Trivial Pursuit piece, essentially. There are scorch marks on it, and a long, like lightning bolt shaped crack in it. There's debris that has it's not orbiting the piece, but it's suspended in space, of course, falling around the planet. You see bodies flying there as well.
So I'm out in space at this point.
No, you guys are in the ship, but the door is open to space. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, you don't want to take off your helmet right now. It looks like you're about a kilometer away, which in space is like right there. And you see behind this piece, hundreds of miles below Neptune, and it's icy crust and such, still reflecting. You have to pull down the visor on your helmet to not be almost blinded by it. and you know all the colors and stuff washed out. Beyond that, you see the storm of shrapnel circling several miles away from you and burning up into Neptune's atmosphere. And beyond that, still the donut that has been taken a bite out of. It looks like there's the ships that were docked to it have detached and moved at a safe distance. The larger ships, you can see here and there dots. You know, they're pretty far away. It's hard to see with the naked eye, but your HUD will actually light them up. Several of them have gone, you know, and left the station, but several of them are waiting. It looks like there's shuttles going to and from the station, and the beacon lights are going. So the station is intact. There's still it's not a fireball where the inevitable was, but you can see quite clearly where the explosion happened, just with dust and whatnot. Several, probably 1,000 miles that way. Yeah. Alice turns to you, and you hear the. All right, thrusters on. Josh, can you get us any closer? You hear. That's Lieutenant. Alice gives you a look, Burgess. Yeah. Yes, Second Lieutenant. Can you get us a little closer, please? As you guys start getting closer. She looks at you. All right. She's hooked you in. That's just for safety. Just shove off down there, and when you get to the other side, latch yourself on to that side. Yeah?
Yes.
All right, Burgess. It's on you.
All right. I take the latch off. Take the latch off one, place it on the other, and there'd probably be two latches, because if you're out just for safety's sake, you would unlatch one, latch it onto the next thing, and then once that's secure, unlatch the second one.
You're about 500, we'll say 300 feet from the fragment. So there's a bit of a jump.
So I say, I guess this is where I got to jump off, huh?
Aye.
All right, here goes nothing. Into nothing.
As you do. What do you bid? I mean, you don't have to bid. You could just be like, la la la. Into space. Space physics are really complex, and parabola is very difficult to accurately calculate. Proof.
Yeah, fun fact, the original Gemini pilots didn't really know what they were doing, and when they tried to get closer to something, they ended up going further away.
Yeah. It's like counterintuitive from what I understand.
Oh, yeah. Kerbal Space Program will teach you real quick, though. Anyways, I'm going to bid... I'm going to bid survivalist.
That's good. Yep. We're going to have you throw down on this first spacewalk. As you hear your own breath, you know, the cool air of the O2. It's almost like AC, and you hear like all the creaks and such in your spacesuit.
So I'm gonna go with wits.
Do it. We'll say that as you fly, as you leap off, you do see like just a couple fragments, you know, go past it. Like 1,000.
I got one success.
All right, that's all you need. As you jump out, and right in front of you, like a bullet, Makes no sound. You know if it had hit you, you would be dead. As you fly that way, seems
Float
to
that
take
way.
seems to take forever. As for 30 seconds, you're just in free fall, floating
Around Neptune.
around Neptune. And you see it,
Yeah.
and now you believe in God.
I see the.
You don't. You don't.
Yeah.
I was
Turns
gonna say,
out-
is that
turns out
is
there
that
is
a
no
flaw
God.
that he gets?
Turns out there's no God. God kills you. Anyway, you get to the other side, latching on.
Grab it.
Do you just try to grab onto it, or do you use your thruster pack?
I try and grab onto it.
Okay. With the one success, it's all you really need. When you get up to this fragment, right at the last moment, as you grab on, you realize how fast you're moving, and it strains your muscles. Probably pulls maybe one of your arm muscles as you fling around, jerking. Your mass unable to move. The fragment's mass. As you're able to get inside of it and do the latches. It's completely depressurized. You see numerous shrapnel holes where the debris just went straight through, clean like butter, like knife through butter. There's some body parts in here and there, but otherwise, and a little bit of blood splatter, but really not that much. It seems like most people just got vended as this thing cracked open. And you can see where it was detached. The lights are still on. There'll be so there's still power. There'll be this purple around the detachment, which you'll know, Burgess, means it was manually detached, as in the station, someone detached it, like on purpose.
Oh wow. That's disturbing. I'm gonna first see if there's anything I can consistently, or I'm gonna be able to consistently grab onto, like a rail or something that I could use to
Yeah.
move myself around.
Now that you're inside, it's pretty easy to do so. I mean, there's no gravity whatsoever here, but
I radio back. I'm gonna try and radio back, and I've
status
made it.
report. I see that. Well done.
Yeah. It looks like someone did this, like on purpose.
Of course they did.
All right. Well, that's above our pay grade. Is it secure over there? And I'll come over.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's secure enough. Nothing's alive, or
Good. I believe they Skip said that the survivors would be in a storage closet of some sort. We don't know if they've got spacesuits on, so we don't want to just open them up.
got it. Let's come over here, and we'll. I guess we'll just have to knock on the door, or.
All right, you start on that. Lieutenant Dolby, I'm about to cross over. Do we know if the survivors have spacesuits on?
Let's message them again.
As engineering does. As it's been a while since you've talked to him, there's no response.
Oh, is anybody over there? Hello? Check one.
Engineer turns it or looks at you. I don't know. I mean, they could be passed out. Who knows?
Well, shit.
Am I going, sir?
No, hold.
All right.
Dolby
okay.
messages them again. Nobody's on. Hello. space station. Anybody alive?
Engineering says, I mean, there could be a lot of reasons why they don't respond. They might still be alive.
Yeah, they might. And then my my little private over there might die trying to save him.
But sir, he's already over there.
It's fine. He might come back. Make a message to Burgess. Wait, do you hear any? I guess you can't hear anything in space because it's
No, I don't hear anything.
you don't hear anything at all. Do you see any lights flickering?
There are lights. This place still has power.
It does.
Yeah, and you know, even though it's cracked open, Burgess, you see, just like you were on the space station, this is just literally a partition of it. So that big space station, there's only 5 partitions. This is one of them. So it's actually rather large. Like we're not talking like miles or anything, but several hundred feet of corridor is what you're in.
Do we
Imagine
kinda
like
know the-
imagine like a cul-de-sac. It's like that big. Like all of that land area. It's 1/5 of the space station. So there's the central corridor, and then we'll say, I think it would work 5 little corridors. There's several places to search, and they said storage closet.
All right,
But
I'm gonna
there still
go.
is power.
I'm gonna find. I'm gonna see if I can actually see a storage closet. from
Okay,
where
we're
I'm at.
good. Dolby, you have not heard back from Burgess. It's silent radio.
All right. You still with us, Burgess?
Yeah, still am. Still looking for a storage closet.
Good. Well,
Do you want me to head over there, sir?
no.
Alan says. All right, I'll hold tight.
Just be ready.
I'm gonna bid. I'm gonna bid seasoned.
It's a bit seasoned. You know, from your time kicking boxes,
Yeah.
you know the general layout of this specific space station, and you've been on space stations before. They're pretty cookie cutter. Like I said, they're made to kind of fit interchangeably with each other. They're not very creatively created. Wow, you get what I'm trying to say. Manufactured. As you go to where you would assume the storage lockers are, and you know that there are 3 locations. The one you're at has been blown wide open, so it's not this one. There's one in the middle of the segment, and there's one at the end of the segment. So it makes sense to go down the corridor to those, if that's where
I'm
you're
gonna
going to go.
go down the corridor to them, and I'm gonna see if I can find any sort of metal object, and I'm gonna pick
Lots
it
of
up.
metal.
I'm gonna pick it up, and as soon as I get to the door, I'm gonna tap on it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is a fate roll to see if they're in this one or the next. Megan, you still with us? Dolby, I believe you are either fortune or false fortune.
Will be fortune. Actually,
if nostalgic
yeah.
is still with us, we'll have her roll a d100. And which one are you going to be?
I said fortune.
Fortune, okay. So nostalgic, if you're still with us, we'll give you a few seconds, roll a d100, and tell me what you get. Your false fortune. And if that doesn't go, and we'll say 10 seconds, then we'll have you roll it, Burgess, because I don't have my dice.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll probably be using a
Oh,
proficiency.
okay, what'd you get?
25.
All right. Nostalgia got a 72.
I'm gonna use my skullduggery
All right. So Nostalgic, roll it
proficiency.
again. We got
Are they
30 seconds
using
to the
the-
ad.
Nice. All right, 62.
What'd you get, Nostalgic? So Dolby used a 27. All right. Fortune favors the Burgess. As
All right.
Burgess, you dang, 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 dang. You wait 5 seconds till the ad. Ding, 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 ding. Is anyone there? Ad break. Ah, yeah.
I'm sure that was through very short range communication because you can't hear in space. Unless there's air in this compartment.
Well, you can, yeah, there's air in the compartment, and you can hear through thumping, like through solid objects. You can put your
Nice.
head, like that's one of the ways you can communicate, I believe, underwater as well, with like diving. You put your helmets together, and I believe you can speak. Or no, I'm sorry, not diving. In space, I believe you can put your heads and talk through the
Feel the vibration.
vibrations.
Like one of those cords with the ear.
Yeah,
And
and
the
I
string.
think in certain diving suits you can if you're able to talk. But
Are we in the ad break still?
yeah, we're in the ad break. I'm gonna use El Baño.
Oh,
You
nice.
guys need to do it. Then go
Okay.
do it. And we got about
Fun fact.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
We got 10 minutes left, and we'll finish up at that point. What were you gonna say?
Fun fact: if you have a polymer currency, or if you have a country's polymer banknote, you can actually play a record player with it. In other words, you can take the corner of it and you can drop it on. You can actually lay it on a record player as it's playing, and you will actually hear, instead of the needle, right? And you'll hear the song through the
Wow.
banknote.
Oh, that's cool.
I have a Canadian dollar
Alright,
bill. I think it's a 10, right? And it just works.
How do you know all these wonderful, wonderful tidbits?
It's a long story.
That's an incredible find. I mean, how did you learn about?
I
using
learned.
it as
I
a-
learned about it. I just learned about it on the internet. But when apparently there was this viral video of this guy who took I think it was a British. Okay, go back. Australia back in I think the 1970s or maybe it was the 90s started making polymer banknotes, and these are banknotes that are not cloth; they're actually made out of plastic, and you can actually wash them and get them wet, and it won't impact, like it won't hurt them, right? And I think they're even more resistant to being torn. Well, a bunch of other countries wanted Australia to make their banknotes, and so Australia did, and that's one of its industries is making money for other currency, for other countries, right? And I think they made United Kingdom pounds. These were polymer banknotes, and there was this video that went really viral of someone taking a UK banknote and just dropping it on a record player, and it would work. And so I was really curious, and I got a Canadian banknote, and that worked. It really does.
I guess it's physics.
Yeah, it has to be a polymer banknote, and you have to. I mean, there's kind of a skill. You have to drop the corner on it, so it'll mimic as much as possible the actual.
Do you
needle.
make it into a cone, or is it just?
No. You just drop the corner on there, and you have to really get the pressure right. The one you at it'll work. It's not loud, but it is audible. You can hear it.
Yeah, for sure. I know this is probably true because I used to DJ records, and I know that I've heard needles. If you just put them on there, you can kind of hear.
Yeah, really, it's the same principle.
Without any power or anything. And it's like an amplifier, I guess, the side of the banknote
Yeah,
because
yeah. It is.
kind of reflects off of that. That's really interesting. I mean, before they had, I guess, power, they would crank the record players.
And by the way, the money actually looks cool. It looks way
Yeah.
better than American currency. Way better. Colorful. It's got holograms.
Are you telling me you like Canadian money?
Yeah. It looks way
Still
better than
talking about the
American.
money. You like loonies and toonies?
Yeah, I'm total loony.
Disc.
We're back.
We're back. Right. So, since the ad break is gone, Nostalgic says that was wild. Truth, as you hear the ding 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 ding, hello, from the reverberation, wrong word. What am I trying to think of? Vibration.
Reverberation, the vibration.
I will attempt to say, hello, hello. I don't know if they'll hear me, but I'll try it.
You yell it in your helmet.
Ooh! Yeah.
You continue hearing
bang on
them.
it again.
Yep, they continue banging.
I say, we got a live one here.
Ah, Lieutenant, did you hear that? Seems like they might need
Alright.
help.
Yeah, go help them.
Burgess, I'm coming over. And the cutscene is, we'll say Dolby, you see, maybe out a porthole, you see Alice like going. Burgess, roll me a d6.
Four.
As Alice, she continues talking as she's flying through the through space. If you put your helmet on the wall, they might be able to hear you. Ask them if they've got suits.
Okay. I rest my helmet onto the wall and I say, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Do you all have suits on?
Yes.
So if we open this up,
Well, don't do so yet. We'll put on our helmets.
okay.
As
and
you
I
see the
radio back.
door, you see the door, the handle, chink, and air.
Kind of rushes out. Yeah.
As it opens up, and you see a woman in a spacesuit. It would be a red spacesuit, like an emergency one. She, it's hard to tell much of her features. She looks like she's in her 30s or so. Definitely military by the haircut. She'll have her hair really close and actually in cornrows that come back. She looks like probably a station kid, you would just guess, just by her features and such, like she was born in space. She's got prematurely gray hair, and her skin kind of has a golden look to it. So sort of a natural melanin in the skin. Gray eyes, and she's carrying with her, since it's weightless, another soldier in a spacesuit, who is woman. You can see that the woman who's unconscious that's being carried is Corporal Dunn. And the woman that you're talking to is Sergeant Duststone. She's really hurt. I don't know if she's made it. As Alice, you see her coming down the hallway. Everything all right?
I don't know, everyone, but we got more people here. We're gonna need help.
How many?
Looks like 3.
Duststone looks at you, says, "Just the two of us. Everyone else is gone."
Oh,
You see,
2.
you see a couple dead people in there.
I radio back and I say, Sorry, two or three, including me.
As, as Duststone says, there were only two suits. And she just kind of like hangs her head a little bit.
I say, well, you looks like you got the two suits.
She nods. Yeah. You notice the other people in there, they're not in suits. They're sort of floating there. It's a storage room, so it kind of bends around, and there's lots of boxes in there and stuff. And crates. You can't quite see, but you do see a couple floating bodies, and maybe some blood.
I say, well, we have a ship that made it. If you all want to join us, follow me.
Absolutely. We need to hurry up as Alice gets to you. All right, let's go. She starts tying them up, attaching them to her. I'll take, what is this? Corporal Dunn. You see her kind of go, sorry. I'll take Dunn, and you take Duststone. As she wants you to hook him in.
Yeah, I guess I hook him or give
Hook him and cook him.
yeah.
So how do you bid, or what do you bid to get back to the ship? And this will go for Alice as well.
I bid hardened.
Okay. How does that apply to this situation?
As in, I get them back to the ship and don't get freaked out by all the dead bodies floating around.
All right. As you're soaring through space back to your ship, and now that you have a line, it's much easier. Alice talks to you over the shortwave. She does this just to you, Burgess. So it's a private channel, and these two rescued people can't hear because they're not on the shortwave. So what'd she say about the others?
She said, there's two suits. They don't have suits. The others don't have suits.
You see Alice she's up ahead of you. You can't quite see her face. And she's not trying to like show them because they're just sort of attached, like flying there with you guys.
Yeah.
Right, but well, how'd they die? Because they had air.
They had air. Right.
Didn't you say they had their helmets off, right?
They had their helmets off, but there was air in the closet.
Yeah. So how'd the other ones die? Why did it matter that they didn't have two suits or more than two suits? As
out of game, I thought you were. Hold on, out of game. I thought you were talking about all the people that couldn't make it into the storage closet.
Nope,
Oh.
I'm talking about the people you didn't search in the storage closet behind all the boxes, Hulker.
Oh.
As you guys get to the cool mint. Over the comm. Lieutenant, we've got two survivors. Maybe only one. Need to debrief, sir.
Absolutely.
As you get through the airlock and all this stuff, Josh says, would you like... Shall we go back to the station or stay in orbit? Stay here? What?
Let's keep our distance from the station just for the moment. See if any other craziness. Let everything kind of calm down for a minute. I'm not entirely sure that we rescued anybody just now. Just because, you know, we're not supposed to really go against orders, and I was not ordered to be here. I did this for I did this for you,
funsies.
Josh. This is the only reason why we came, so just bear with me on this.
He doesn't say anything, but you can hear over the comm him grinding his teeth.
Yeah, we saved these people for you, Josh. I'm glad you care.
Dolby, if you wish to throw down or bid, you can hear what he says under his breath.
I will throw down.
Okay. He says it not on the comm. We'll say that if you get a success, you will just barely hear him.
Is this wits or mind or grace?
I'd say it's wits.
Because it could be grace, because, you know, he's got a sense of...
No, this is something that you either perceive or you don't.
All right.
Because he's actually pretty far away from you in the cockpit.
I got one success.
All right, that's all you need. You just barely hear it, as maybe your back's turned. You know, you're not in the same room. He's not on comm. But he definitely says to himself, "Fucking Marines."
Hoorah.
As Alice comes in, ding, ding, ding. Since you guys are not thrust or accelerating right now, there is no gravity on your ship. So you got to be mag boots or floating around. As she thunk, thunk.
I'm gonna get...
Now, if you go thrust, then you
Yeah.
can have gravity again.
I think we'll just do anti-gravity for the moment. I'm gonna order Skip to help our new guests in the med bay.
Skip
get
comes over to
Burgess-
you. Go on, sorry.
And get Burgess to join me and the captain, or not the captain, but the pilot and
Yep.
Dole.
Yep. As Skip comes down, I've got you. As he smiles at you, Burgess, and he looks at Duststone and Dunn. We need to get... I'll get them out of... He'll look at Duststone, and I'm just NPCing with myself. Hey, we need to get you all out of this. As he starts helping them out. Burgess, as you're about to leave, assuming you do, Skip, you see the look on his face as he sees Dunn, and you can tell she's probably not going to make it.
So she's done.
I don't get it. So,
All right.
what do you do?
I'm gonna get Burgess to debrief me on what he saw.
As Burgess comes up, Alice comes up to you first. She's in her gear still. The helmet's off to her side. Burgess, do you go up to the lieutenant as well?
Of course I do.
Up to the
And
bridge.
Brick as
So,
well.
so pretty much everybody's up there.
Except for Simon.
Yeah, Simon, the two...
Not Simon. His name's not
Jesus.
Simon.
You fucked me up. Skip. Yeah, so Skip and the two rescuees
Mhm.
and the cat are down
Mhm.
in the airlock portion, where there's a small kind of triage unit,
Sure.
and the rest of you are up on the bridge. Sir, Alice says. Right, so do you want this here now? Perhaps Burgess, maybe it's best if you tell him since you were there.
Well, I went over there and
She closes the door.
I went over there and I knocked on the door with a metal pipe, and I got a signal back that someone was behind there, and I stuck my helmet up to the door and asked if they were if they were in suits, and they said yeah. And so they put on their helmet, which was the only part that was what they weren't wearing, and then they opened the door and then came out, and I helped them out.
Okay. Why is that? What happened? I guess that other person got injured. Do you know anything about their situation or?
No.
Not yet,
Okay.
sir. She was unconscious. Looked like she had some sort of head wound.
Okay. Well, hopefully, does anybody on this bridge know anything about medicine?
You guys all kind of look at each other. Engineering says, "Not me. I mean, technically, I've got some basic stuff just for the cryo sleep."
Sure, but you're not like a head wound specialist. I'm guessing we need to get this woman or this person to.
Guy can
Midday.
operate, Lieutenant.
Why don't you help them out?
Just kidding. I don't have a body.
Well, give them some instruction.
You could download me, giving me permission to use my body.
Sure. I can also ask you to use your words and just help them through it. Help them through a process to keep this person.
Help them through
stabilized.
surgery. No problem. Would you like to
pilot-
use the screwdriver or the hypo spanner?
Without the sarcasm, please. If they ask, don't help them at all if they don't ask.
You hear in a distant part of the ship the echoing and metallic voice of Alfred. "Excuse me, meatbags," as he starts talking to them.
All right, good.
Um,
Is there anything
meanwhile-
else I need to know?
Alice says, "Well, there is something funny." She kind of looks over at Burgess. See,
Yeah.
I mean, you should tell him, Burgess.
Yeah. So they opened the door, and apparently there were more people back there, but they weren't in suits.
I mean,
But what she said was, at least what you told me, she said, and you didn't actually tell me, but I'm saying you did. What she told you was they only had 2 suits, and that's why everyone else didn't make it. When I looked in there, I didn't search it, Lieutenant, but it looked like there were 2 or 3 bodies, and there was blood. I mean, maybe they were just injured from the explosion, but well, they were dead already, right? And what'd that have to do with having 2 suits?
Maybe they took care of them before they.
I mean, maybe they fought over the suits. I don't know. Doesn't seem
maybe
very.
it's Maybelline, guys. You know, it's hard to project. I can't imagine that any of these people, if there were 2 suits and they fought it out, you know, it's survival of the fittest. That's on them.
You see Josh just look at you like, ah. Engineering
on them.
kind of like looks at you. You know, his eyes get big.
It's
Alice
who needs
nods.
to. It's who needs to survive to get the job done. I will gladly give any one of you the suit if it requires the mission to be complete. And so
Understood, sir.
these people, they survived because they needed to, in my opinion. And if we start second guessing ourselves on every last little instance and mission, I know there's a lot of paranoia going around, but at some point it's got to end. The paranoia has to stop, and we need to start moving forward because everybody's not out to get you.
Alice is looking at you. She's nodding. Aye, sir. Shall I go
They
check on?
made it.
Go on.
Yeah, go check on them. Make sure. I mean, make sure they don't kill. They don't kill Mr. Trace.
Skip can take care of himself, I think. As she
I think
kind
so,
of
too.
you see her smile, like she probably likes Skip. As she walks past you, Burgess, she pats you on the shoulder. Good work out there.
Thank you.
You can tell Burgess that she's not saying that like a commanding officer. It's more like a, hey, we did a good job. As she goes down, you hear the stomping of the magnetic boots. Thunk, 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 as the door shuts. There's a weird energy in this room right now. The pilot, Josh, is seething, but he's keeping completely quiet. Engineering is looking at him and back to you guys, doesn't really know what's going on, doesn't know what to say. It's pretty obvious. And it seems like there's a growing distance between engineering and Josh.
Okay,
Like
I'm gonna
maybe
bid.
Josh found out something.
Yeah, I'm gonna bid leadership lies, which is one of my traits. And tell both Josh and Dole, like, I don't care what you guys have got going on. That's not why we're here. I'm gonna do my best to protect both of you and make sure that you live on to go whatever mission or trip or whatever you have planned in the future. But right now, we're together, and I'm not sure if we're just gonna go ahead and start the mission with these two in the med bay or not. You know, I'm guessing we should probably go back to the station, but you guys need to work your way out, because you don't want to get a bad word from me in the ASA. So you need to ship up and shape up. And then I look at Dole. Like,
He looks scared.
yeah. So get it together.
Yeah, no problem. Anything you say. You don't have to throw down. You have proven you mean what you say. Whether or not they believe that you're for them, that's up in the air, but
Sure.
you have made an impression for sure. As the lieutenant turns around in his seat, he doesn't like you. It's written all over him, but he listens.
Yeah, we
So
don't
we're
have
going-
to get along.
So
Yeah,
we're going
go ahead.
back to the station then, Lieutenant?
I don't want to go back. Like, if we go back there, we got to deal with this sabotage shit. That's not my
we
orders.
could drop off these people that are obviously injured.
Yeah,
They're probably going to. One of them will die in cryo sleep. Not that it matters.
Probably true. What's going on with Chatter anyway?
As he. Okay, there's a broadcast now. He looks up at you. They're asking for any assistance that people can give, and any survivors to be brought there. Should we respond?
Yeah, tell him we've got to.
You see him give you a nod. It's kind of the first moment of respect he's given you. Like actual, like he feels respect as he and he starts talking to the station. Oh, damn it. Now they know we're here. You hear Alfred say. Nah.
You just keep your eyes out, Alfred, and we'll
I
get
have
along
no
just fine.
eyes.
Yeah, your sensors, your scanners, your little bleeps and bloops, whatever it is that you've got going on.
I will bleep and bloop. I don't know where to go with this.
Yes, no.
All right, actions
Dolby-
on you guys.
Dolby
and
texts
we're-
and a
Yep.
couple of swigs and hands a shot glass to or hands this glass to Burgess and says, "Good job today."
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So we montage, unless you guys have something else to do. Good. You fly back, going around Neptune again to get to the station. It takes about an hour. An hour to go around a planet? How long does it take to go around a planet at high orbit, Hulker?
It's a big planet, but
Well,
not
okay.
that long.
For on Earth, if you're a low Earth orbit is 90 minutes. A high Earth orbit can be, it could take you more than a day if you're
And Neptune's pretty
high
big, yeah.
orbit. And so I think for Neptune it would probably be several days.
But we're in a fast spaceship.
Yeah, you're in a space plane. Or
And
you're in
it doesn't really matter.
So what'll happen is, you guys will pull a couple G's. You'll be prepared for it. Josh tells you as you reduce your orbit, lower your orbit and speed up. Although to do this, you actually slow down. At any rate, it'll take you a full day to get there. In that day, you find out a couple things. First, Corporal Dunn dies.
Oh.
Uh,
Did we have bit anything like laser swords to like?
No, that's why I asked if you were going to do anything. But you did let the NPCs, all of them, take care of the people that could potentially be enemies. No, Dunn dies. She's done. As I'm going to go ahead and project that you guys hang out and drink in the bridge. Eventually, Alice will radio back that Dunn has died. Skip will ask you, Lieutenant, if you want to space the body. Josh does not like this idea whatsoever, and says that she should get a proper burial on the station. What do you choose?
We'll go with proper burial. I feel like if there's anything, a proper burial is all Dolby wants for himself.
As you will meet Sergeant Duststone. She's in the mess at this time. Alice doesn't leave her side or leave her sight. You'll notice, both of you, it's pretty clear Alice doesn't trust Duststone at all. She's not saying anything, she's not doing anything, but you can tell by her body language she doesn't trust her. Duststone doesn't seem to notice at all. She seems very charismatic. She's got this premature gray hair. She's in her 30s. She's fairly loose, in the biblical sense. She's fairly carefree, it seems. Seems intelligent, but there is something odd. She doesn't really seem that affected by what's happened. Like when you talk to her about it, maybe right when you meet her, she's talking to Alice about what happened, and she seems kind of sad. But upon you guys entering, that kind of just drops away. It's not super weird, but it's something that probably does sit with you. Like, she doesn't seem that affected. She's
not in shock. She could be in shock.
Maybe she's in shock. Maybe she's just got tough skin. She is a Marine. She's PMC. And she thanks you for coming to get her. And
I'm gonna nod to Brick and say, like, kind of give her a look of gratitude. And
she's sitting there eating noodles. They're like floating in the air. Actually, you have gravity right now since you're.
Yeah, we got gravity right now. Where are you on to? Where are you going to, soldier?
You talking to Dustdown?
Dustdown. Yeah. Where are you off to?
Oh well, so we were stationed on Neptune Station. We've been there for about a couple months, waiting on new orders from the commander. We're under the direct command, or have been for that time, of Duana Laura, station commander, and we've been helping out the magistrate in several um, missions she's had, or envoy she's had with captains from the commercial ships here and there. Pretty much just the security detail, general stuff. Me and my fire team. Yeah, it was a mixed bag. I've had, in the last 2 months, rotation of 3 different fire teams, and she is a sergeant, you can see. So when no one really knew, we didn't get to know each other very well.
How old are you?
She doesn't blush, but she kind of like looks at you. About 31, give or take a prime year or two. I'm a station kid.
Yeah. So you don't go out deep.
Oh, you mean out of Seoul? I've been once. I went out to Proxima Centauri. It was my first mission. You know how they do. They send you out. You know, when you're done bad, or when you're just a rook, they send you way out, don't you?
Yeah.
She kind of looks up at you guys, smiling, noticing that none of you are smiling, because you guys are always sent far out. Or if you're really good, they send you out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been mostly out on the Fringe, which the Fringe is past Jupiter, but still within the Oort cloud.
Sure.
Done a few missions on the lifeboats, and just knocking heads together here and there. Mostly security details.
So you're just kind of watching us. You're watching your security. You see anything funny go on?
Well,
Before
there's been-
before you were launched into the deep,
I'll
into
tell you
space.
what. And she kind of like does the look around, even though it's just an unconscious maneuver, or seems so. That's not the first ship that's just exploded, and I mean that's the biggest one.
Sure.
But there's been talk of sabotage. You see Alice eating her noodles ferociously, like just not breaking eye contact.
You said you've been working. Did she say she was working for the station commander?
So she's under the direct command of Commander Dona Laura, or Dauna Laura. It's
Okay.
near future Donna is her name, but it's Dauna. You will know the name, whether you know the woman or not.
Sure.
That's up to you. You can bid to know her.
No.
But you'll heard it. You would know.
I wouldn't know. I would. Dolby would know.
Yeah, she's P&B. She is a commander, which makes her an O. What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. She's an O4.
Oh, nice.
So it's essentially kind of like a colonel, I believe. Or lieutenant colonel.
Are you in it for life? Is this?
I mean, we got our 10 years. I guess mine. Not counting what is it, the 4. Guess I've got about half left.
Yeah.
Of the 10, because they don't count cryo.
Well, you don't do much cryo, do you?
Well, I did it once.
Yeah.
Or twice, I should say. there and back.
Sure.
That means she was in cryo likely for about 8 years, 6 to 8,
Mhm.
depending.
So she's 31, but
She looks like she's
not-
31.
Yeah, she looks like
Yeah, she's probably in
31.
her 40s.
Yeah, 40s. Okay.
I mean, you look like you're in your 40s, but you're probably a lot older.
Yeah.
Actually, you're definitely a lot older. Your
What?
'cause your first mission took you 20 years to get there.
Yeah. No. There's no question.
So you're like in your 90s at least.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm still sticking. I'm a little plastic man.
Yeah, everyone you knew on wherever you're from is dead.
Sure.
They're dunzos.
And the same with the Skip Trace.
Oh yeah. I think Skip. I think he's like 200 or something actual years. He's old as fuck.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, you guys are
around for
relics.
a while.
As she nods, yeah, she kind of leans back. She's got like a bowl of reconstituted vegetables she's eating. This is, if you've seen The Expanse, it's very much like that kind of scene in their mess. Yeah, under the command of Commander Laura, and it's been an honor to work with Magistrate Cyrus. I mean, have you met her? She's really something. I can understand why she's been decorated so many times. I mean, the woman's a legend.
You think she was doing the right thing when the station flew apart?
I mean, I don't know. Cyrus didn't give the word, as far as I know. I think that's on the commander. The commander has to do what she has to do.
Sure.
To save the station. It's just bad luck that Cyrus was on the station at the time. She's the magistrate of this entire sector.
Yeah.
Which sector meaning this sort of quadrant of where Uranus and Neptune are.
So you guys are friends.
This arc.
Are you close? Have you met her? I'm not friends, of course. You clearly are not of the rank, but you know her. You've been around.
Oh, I've worked with her closely for the last about month. Yeah.
Well, she'll be pretty happy with us keeping you alive.
She kind of smiles to herself. You see a little bit of ego as she eats.
Well, that's good to know. I've had my share of trouble. They were sending us out pretty deep. We're probably still gonna have to go, but it'd be nice if I saved somebody in the good graces of the magistrate.
Well, I'll definitely put a good word in. I mean, if it weren't for you all, she looks over at you, Burgess. Private, if it weren't for you and you, Private Brick, I mean, we would probably be dead. I mean,
well,
I would.
Dunn didn't make it, but that's not your fault.
As you see, there's definitely emotion that's playing within her, but she doesn't really show it. You'll also notice, Burgess and Dolby, that she hasn't asked Dolby any questions. That said, it's likely because she's a sergeant and you're a lieutenant.
Sure.
Like, she is obeying the chain of command she seems like clean cut, very, very Marine.
Did you know anybody in the commercial ship?
Do you know
what happened?
There are probably a couple of us that were on it. I'm just guessing. That's pretty standard while they're in orbit. No one that I know of yet.
Well,
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I would assume. You do? You tell her what's up?
Yeah, I tell her that a commercial ship exploded and.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that from the PSA. It's hard to believe that would be sabotage. And she kind of looks up. I mean, the rebels do things, but that seems like something a little bit deeper. And you know that she means the Clad. but she doesn't say it out loud because you're not really supposed to talk about the clad unless you have the security clearance for it. And
Understood.
propaganda-wise, they don't exist.
Yeah.
But
Well,
everyone knows they exist.
Is is Dole around?
Do you want him to be?
I kind of wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'll say he's just walked in and he's making some, like a salad.
Yeah, I've heard they think it could be sabotage, and I look
He
right at him.
straightens up. He doesn't look.
But I
just-
agree with you. I don't think it was sabotage. I think it was just bad luck.
You see him kind of, his hands shaking. He puts the bowl down. When he turns around, he's very pale. I think I'm gonna use the bathroom. And he walks out. Moments, maybe minutes later, you hear the distant echo of explosive shitting. And get out of here. I am everywhere.
Who's your commanding officer? Should you why don't you call your commanding officer and tell him you're alive and
technically
debrief them of your experience? Go ahead.
Technically, my commanding officer is Commander Laura, station commander. But I mean, I've been waiting for rotation for 2 months. I suppose technically you are my commanding officer right now, Lieutenant.
Oh, well,
At least until we get to the station.
sure. I wouldn't guess you'd want to come with us on a little journey across the solar system.
Do you bid anything? To have
I will
her
bid. I will bid. Oh my goodness. Warrior. See if she has the warrior spirit.
You can tell she does. If you ask it of her, since you've sort of proven that you and like Skip have been in the shit, like the real shit, and with Burgess and Alice actually being very competent, at least as far as she knows, there's an excitement you see in her eyes, and you realize that she probably has enough good graces with the commander of the station and with the magistrate to be able to get the assignment she wants.
Oh, nice.
So if you bid that,
yeah, no, I definitely
barring something happening, she's going to go with you.
Sure. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think that'd be
You think
interesting if it's a thing that you want to do.
I mean,
because we're gonna do some big. We got a really good mission. I can't tell you anything about it, but I think you'll enjoy it.
she kind of squints her eyes. It's not. She smiles, knowing you're probably not going to tell her. It's not SOC, is it? Special Operations Corps. It means operatives and stuff. Technically, you're not SOC, but you've been given a SOC mission.
Yeah,
no, you have Sec 3 clearance, and you
Sure.
easily have Sec 4. That's a SOC mission, but it's not officially that way.
Yeah, no, we're Marines. We go on high.
Yeah. She nods. That's the way I like it. You see Alice finishing her noodles, looking at her, still doesn't trust her at all. All right. As you get to the station, you dock. You're walking through the station. You see it's been locked down where it needs to be locked down. Obviously a disaster has occurred, but things are in order.
I'm still in full military.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm still fully.
I'm assuming you're all there.
And then I think we're all there. I think that Skip and Burgess are with me with Brick as well.
Do you leave
I think we'll leave Brick behind.
You leave Brick behind?
And we'll also leave. Actually, I think it's good to leave Skip behind because I don't trust anybody coming on or off our ship at this point.
So Skip and Brick are on the ship, as well as Josh
and
Engineer.
And I talked to Dole, and I'm like, you better make sure that these fucking cryo tubes are fucking working, buddy.
Okay, yeah. I got it.
And we might have an extra passenger.
As he gives you a look, you guys then will be going to Commander Laura's office,
Mm-hmm.
and that is where we're going to end.
Good.
Awesome.
Closing thoughts.
We didn't die. I didn't kill any. We didn't kill any of our player characters that weren't here tonight.
Yeah, that's good.
Anything else?
I think it's going to be interesting to find out what happened, if it's even possible to find out what happened to all those other people that didn't make it on into the suit.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that mystery. Nostalgic says no accidental death is good. So yeah, I think keeping those things in mind, you should definitely put that in your notes. This adventure, this one shot, which I definitely expanded, it's actually a module, and part of it I really like because you guys are delving into the sort of optional part, which builds, and it will make the end of it, as in the next part, your actual mission, I think, pretty interesting and push the story forward. Okay, so you're on the way to Commander Laura's office. Sergeant Duststone is going with the 4 burning sensations. You've got Brick, Skip, and Dole, and Josh on the boat. Of course, Alfred is there as well. Remember, Alfred technically has a mobile chassis that he can download himself into. You guys, which
How
is
can we
aberrant.
forget?
Yeah, which is aberrant. You don't specifically know the ins and outs of how that works, but you can find out at some point. And that's it. All right. Thank you to the chat. Thanks, Nostalgic, for hooking it up despite
Yeah, thank you.
migraines and such.
Yeah, thank you for beating me in some false fortune rolls. That was awesome.
Indeed. So special thanks to the Patreon people, Tim Roberts and Daniel Holker. Media production by Couchfire Media. You can go to www.couchfiremedia.com and check out them and get some good shit going on. Music is by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. You can find that on Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere. We go live on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard on this channel. And if you have not subscribed or liked or followed, damn you, do it. Do the cheap stuff. Do the free stuff. It helps us a ton. On Twitch, we're trying to get to 100 followers. We're at 84. We've got 3 subscribers. We're trying to get to 5 if possible. On YouTube, we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That is no money on your part. It would help us a ton, though, to get the word out about this and DreadLore, the game. If you're interested in playing DreadLore, go to dreadlore.com. Everything is there. Merch, the book, the rules are on there. Getting started guide, all kinds of stuff. Merch, you can get a t-shirt that has multiple colors, similar to this. Yeah, and the book is sexy. Super sexy. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Yep. Everybody say bye. Oh, one more thing. After
Everything
this,
after hours?
in about 10-15 minutes, we're going to do after hours. So Nostalgic, if you can, stick around. If anyone else wants to join us, we're going to be talking about game stuff and bitching and moaning. All right, everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye. And he's out.